Give it a second. Sometimes it takes a few seconds to lag, about 3 or 4 seconds. Welcome. So the title tonight is about, the reward system of this place. No good deed goes unpunished. And that's why honesty, authenticity, integrity is punished in this place. And you see it reflected in everything here, right? The most evil, sinister bastards are what get all the rewards of this place. And recently they're flaunting it all in our faces, and of course nothing will happen because the entire thing is designed to support predatory behavior. It's bad on fucking purpose. Also happens to be the name of the show for that reason, because it is bad on purpose from the rip. And I think that line is becoming very clear. The line of who's who and what's what. Two separate animators in this realm, eternal beings that are just passing through, that are not bound to this place, that are not dependent on anything in this place for our awareness and our existence, our true existence. And then those that feed off of us, the parasitic entropic intelligence that names itself God and controls all the systems of this realm. So with that, I'd like to welcome Alina, Christina, and Big Daddy.
Greetings.
Hello,
We
hello.
were talking a little bit about dreams earlier. My dreams last night were horrendous. I was in a sacrificial ritual dungeon, and when I came to awareness in the dream, I was holding somebody's head like a bowling ball. My fingers were in their eye sockets, and I was feeling their brain. And when I came to awareness, I was like, "This is fucked up. I don't like this." And then I was kicked out of the dream. So,
Like a bowling ball.
Big Daddy, you were saying something about dreams right before we started. I was like, "No, we're not live. We should probably advise that we actually get this recorded."
Yeah, I mean, we discussed dreams recently, and I've gone several months without any, and getting a lot of feedback.
Lena, you got a lot of.
I gotta take this call real quick.
You're good. Yeah, that I hadn't experienced them in a while, and they were a big part of kind of my awareness last year, and we spoke on it. Sure enough, right on time, I speak on it. It does come to fruition. And mine have been very much me chasing. And I think that's why I've been booted out of the dream so much, was every time that I would have one, I would take over the narration. I would take over the scene. I would create within that dream. And it seemed to piss it off a lot of times. I'd been beaten in some of them. I've had some grapey things happen, and others just oddball stuff that I've never created in dreams, and now all of a sudden it's attack mode. But recently, again, it's only given me heads. These heads communicate through hive minds so that they can keep track of where I'm at, but still I pursue it. So the dreams have ramped up as soon as I say something about it, and that's kind of a reoccurring pattern that I've seen in this place. Is once you speak on something, and that's where people are getting confused with manifestation and all of that goes along with it, is, oh, you speak highly of this and you do that and great things are going to come. Well, sure, but you got to take another step back and be like, why is it that when I speak things, it then becomes existence? Because guess what? You're a creator. And that's what it's doing, is it's stealing and manipulating the things that you create. It's back on. You got some bad feedback, Alina.
Okay, sorry. I'll just get off for a while.
You're
Okay.
good. You're good.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, it's just a lot of that lately. Hang on. I'll be in a second. Boy, we're just distracting it up tonight, huh? Just left and right. It took me 2 hours to get on this call anyways. But yeah.
Only about an hour to set it up, yeah.
It's the same shit,
All the
just
time.
skewed in a different way. Like, oh, I'm going to use this individual instead of this one. It's always the same. Again, try when you become aware of what's truly taking place here, even trying to get a moment of silence, you're not going to get it. You're going to get distraction after distraction after distraction. So there's got to be something to that if it does not want you to use your mind and use your awareness and your deductive reasoning and all the things that we have that it doesn't. There's got to be something to that, and it's the same shit. We talked about this a year ago in a different manner because we were with other individuals that had a, very, they said they were certain in their plan of what takes place here and how to get out and escape and all of this, but they're all still here a year later talking about the same shit in a repetitive loop. So none of us have the answer right now, but I'll say that chasing in the dreams, the reason I chase it is because most of my life I've been chased. Whether it's I was scared of the darkness and I would get these visions thrown in my head where it's like, why would I create that? Why would I be scared of that? Same thing with dreams. It was always something chasing me in it. And now that I've flipped the script on it, it is much more careful about letting me into those scenarios. And that would be my challenge to anybody listening out there is try to take over any of those scenarios, any of those visions, any of those things that pop in your head that don't feel true to you. Create your different characters within that world. But watch what happens when you start pushing back on even thoughts. The smallest of thoughts start pushing back on it, and you'll see what's truly taking place here. I loved that Untitled was talking about the Epstein stuff today because it's been everywhere for me for the last 2 or 3 days, and I don't really keep up with anything anymore. I haven't watched the news since 2020, um, but it's been everywhere, and I do feel there's that. It's a money grab, It's an energy grab right now. Have all these people all worked up. We're getting to see it on display, and nothing is going to come of it. We're going to have high level individuals, quote unquote, in here that are now going to be like, yep, did that, definitely ate a child, and nothing's going to happen to them. And there's going to be rage. There's going to be people frustrated, upset. It's all a grab for our energy. So that's kind of what's been going on with me lately. Again, I have the ups and downs right now. It seems like each day is where is it going to land with me? And today was one of those where it was like, oh shit, I had some dreams. It didn't let me keep them, but the night before it did let me keep them. And then today was just full of just fuckery, is the best way to describe it, all day long. Um, and again, I was pushing into it last night, so I paid for it today.
Yeah, then that's goes into the title of this show, "Bad on Purpose," and the specific no good deed goes unpunished.
Give me like 2 minutes. I got to get my kid down for bed.
Sure. Yeah. So Christina, we were talking a lot the other night. We talked for like 6 hours about anything and everything. I think if we could have captured some of those key points, I think it'd be really interesting talking points, but I just don't remember much of it at all. How much of that discussion have you retained? Do you have any key points that stood out?
So we talked about a lot. That was a long, good conversation. I know we talked about dreams a lot because, so my experience from James is a little bit different. I can't create in my dreams, but as things start ramping up, I'm able to take daytime awareness into the dream state, such as like subtle manipulations. I'll call it out in the dream and be like, no, that's the entities, or um, having the deeper self or whatever people want to call it, the real you, staring at my character that is me in the dream. Things like that. That's just really like awareness carrying over into the dream state, and then they're just switching the channel. So that's one thing we talked about. It's like I've been having back to back to back dreams because every time I gain awareness in the dreams, they'll switch up the environment. and then it'll start peeking back through. The awareness will ramp up in another dream, and then they'll change the channel again. But then another thing that we discussed was like the self exit is a really big topic right now. So we spent a lot of time on that. But I mean, there is a lot going on right now. Like I know, like I am exhausted. I'll be honest. I'm getting it from a lot of angles. And the consequences in the daytime are kind of accumulating. You know, I'm getting um, more interference from people around me trying to pull me back into old behaviors or um, people making comments. Just it's all in a means to provoke me. So I've been oscillating. I mean, James really hit it right on the head there when he said every day is different. Like I don't know from day to day what it's going to be like, where what tactic it's going to try. So I really have to be on my shit to adapt every single day. And I'm wore out. I'll be honest. I'm fucking wore out. Um, I'm seeing real ones get uh, kind of shit on. You know, you put out truth out there, and people want to make a lot of, you know, fucking comments, and just a lot of real ones are taking a lot of heavy shit right now, and it's heavy. But yeah, those were some of the topics we talked about. But in this, I'm saying the self exit topic a lot. I know James also put that in the WhatsApp group that it's a topic that's circulating really heavy right now because people are tired of it, right? There's a lot of narratives, there's a lot of stories, there's a lot of fake spiritualism, love and light, manifest the new world, all bullshit. And you get tired of seeing the bullshit, you get tired of hearing everybody's bullshit. That's where I'm at. I'm just totally detached from this structure. Um, and I can see why people would want to leave 100%. I can see why people want to get the hell out of here. This is a fucking mockery of a construct for anyone that's real.
Yeah, fake. It's fake.
The truth hammer.
Boom.
The truth hammer.
Man, I'm
And
on it. I'm enraged, dude. I'm oscillating between just observer state and just complete fucking rage, dude. I'm so tired of it.
well, you saw how quickly you, you kind of we all took a W. You especially took a win because of the fears that you had about the situation that took place, and you could even hear as the conversation went on, you had more confidence. We'll say it's not really the word that I'm choosing here, but we're gonna go confidence. But you felt that, and then instantly it was like, okay, we're gonna attack harder, and that was the same shit, same setup that I had previously with two individuals, right? I had the one win and it was like, oh, I'm feeling good at how I handled the situation. Feel like I was out ahead of it, saw it for what it was and didn't let it affect me. And then all hell broke loose of like, oh, well, there goes your win now.
Oh yeah, they're really fucking showing me. It's like you want to speak some truth. Oh, we'll fucking show you what the reward to that is, and I'm reaping that consequence heavily. But I mean, you know, there's also that side that you have to take that it's like keep pushing, motherfucker. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
been through it. Like there's nothing that if you haven't completely fractured and damaged my essence at this point, it's never gonna happen. So, you know, it's hard and it's heavy, but I'm also carrying that sense of like full on empowerment. You know, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I'm tired of people's bullshit. I'm tired of this construct's bullshit. I'm tired of the fake ass shit I see in the news every day. And you were completely right about the Epstein file. I see nothing but that. But the amount of absurdity that's being pushed out right now is all a means for
Mm-hmm.
pushing attention and energy down one corridor. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, you know, there is, like, let's be real, there is no fixing this place. And a lot of people want to put their energy and their hope into fixing a construct that's literally crumbling around them. Like, this construct is not fixable. The only thing that's salvageable from this place is real essence. That's it, period. There's nothing else salvageable from this place. There's no new earth where we're gonna fucking sunshine and rainbows and have some new world concert. No, like that's not what this place is built for. The only salvageable thing in this place is us, period.
Yep.
That's it. That's it. Could not have put it better myself.
That's a hard truth for people to swallow.
Yeah, because everyone's attached to the everything that they're not, giving away what they really are. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, people are addicted to this embodiment and this construct in a way, and they don't see it that way. They see it as like, we're going to fix this world and make it better. No, you're addicted to a reality that's is entropic by nature. Like this reality is always going to suck you dry into death. Period. Every single thing about it is about stealing innocence, cruelty, divide and conquer, energy. There's never going to be there's not some good force running this realm. Like what I guess I don't understand like what people think is the end game here, where these entities just turn to being, neutral observers that let humanity roll out some, I don't know, heaven type. Or I just don't get it, and I'm so tired of seeing that bullshit. People are so attached to this that they are so hung up on hope because they're thinking in linear time. That's what this place wants you stuck in, is fucking linear time. And we exist outside of time. This place is a fucking sham.
Yep. There's a lot of hopium being dangled. New Earth. The aliens are setting up shop here to help us connect and fix the auric field and energetic field. There's rapture's coming, so it'll reset and everybody will go on to a better place, and the others will just rot and perish in a fiery non-existence way. So like all of them have these hopium things that they're grasping onto right now, of this is what's going to happen because I am the catalyst for that to happen. But they're all going in a different direction. They're all arguing with each other is what they're doing. It's all disconnection. It's all, diversion. It's there to divide anyways. But you have to be able to step out and look at the scope of all of it and say, damn, how come John's talking to an alien? Bob's talking to Jesus himself. Scotty and Susan over here are talking to Braxton. Like all these real, what they feel are real encounters that are giving them the answers, and they're not stopping to question and say, why would you give me the answer? Why? And why is nothing getting better? Hope.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah. And the only real answer is you.
Yep.
And that's one thing that I pushed on one of the last lives that we did. Like the inner work, you are the fucking answer. And this place wants you looking everywhere else for the answer. You are the fucking answer. Period. Like there's no other external narrative or savior or story that's going to get you back to where you came from. And yeah, I mean, you spend 10 minutes on any platform, social media, and the things that are being pushed out right now, it's like, it almost makes you like, you have to stop for a minute. Like, it made me dizzy today. I was like, holy shit, dude, there's like a lot of stuff right now, like on every front. There is Christians going nuts right now. There's fucking monks walking across America, the Epstein files, weather, solar flares. I mean, you name it, and it's out there right now. Alien encounters, the snow being fake, which it is. I did test that out. That's for sure. But chemtrails, it's nanotechnology, AI platforms that are talking to each other. I mean, it's like literally every script being pushed out to create absolute chaos and confusion. It's a beautiful place.
We are good at, and that's what makes us different too. Is we are good at, I know me speaking personally, I'll go with me. I've been I've always found the bright spots of shit my whole life, and even now, like I know that I have this little family. That's about it. But push comes to shove, we're all on our own, anyways. But we are good at sugarcoating shit. We're good at, oh, but look at the beauty. Look outside. Look at the sky. Look at how it's painted. That was one thing I noticed when I was like finding the beauty in this place. It was everywhere. And it was like intense beauty because it was being painted in front of me. The second I stopped saying, "Oh, this is beautiful," and saying, "No, this is bullshit. This is all ruse," all that beauty went away. like a snap of a finger. So, well, you don't get to enjoy the painted sky. You don't get to enjoy this. So even that is being so used against the individual to be like, well, you're good at creating your own beauty and your own happiness and your own positivity. That's all you need. Keep doing that. You'll change the world with your smile. That's what you'll do. It keeps them hooked. It's like a
Yeah,
drug.
it's a little. It's we talked about that earlier. It's a little bit longer. No, just
A
wait a
little bit
little.
longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, just stay a little bit longer. You might have missed something. There might be more data you need to collect. Like, nah, I'm pretty sure I clocked all this shit and suffer the consequence of that. So I'm good on all that.
Yeah. There's a fire in Christina tonight, but I feel that was last year. I went through a phase where it was like it pushed me so hard, and that didn't make sense to me. I was very docile. It could have kept me easily on script and moving in a forward direction, never questioning anything. But when it started pushing and it pushed too hard, and it become every facet of my existence was now being pushed on me. It was like, oh, well, I'm okay. You want to fucking fight and you want to see fire? I'll bring your fire. And like, why push an individual who maybe you had at an okay point to that next level of just shit? And obviously it's got to be a scripted deal that don't make any logic, because that's not
Well,
logical.
I have a theory on why it did that, specifically with you and a lot of others like us. Is hold on, we're getting some feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that I'll bet you if there was four other people having this discussion with the exact same every fucking thing that we're holding, they wouldn't be having these technical issues. Garen fucking to you that. But I think the reason it does what it does to you is you never really fully bought in. Like you never. It's something about us that can't completely integrate with this system, with this place. And I think it's had success in the past and nudging us closer to integration through subjugation. But there's a point where it just doesn't work because we're not meant to mesh with this system the way that it needs us to in order for its continuation in its trajectory of parasitic consumption. It's reflected in everything here, right? Like it has to consume more in order just to maintain what it is. It's all the same thing, as above so below. It's like what do the markets need? Well, they need more consumption in order to just to not crash and crumble. I think this place is exactly the same as that. It's all reflective of it. Everything in this realm is reflective of it. And the hopium being pushed everywhere for sure. It's like hoping that the wild, I don't know, wild cat or whatever out in the jungle isn't going to be the cat that it is if you just love it enough. Like if it's hungry enough, it's going to try to eat you because that's what it is. You can't just wish and hope and pray that it's going to be something else. It's like this place is a harvest system designed for harvest. You can't love it into being something else. It's just not what it was meant for. It was meant for consumption. It was meant for harvest. It was meant for the theft of the energy of eternal beings. That's what the fuck it is. So I think it is one of the hugest tricks of this place is that it didn't start like this. You know, it was something because it just feeds that hopium that it also allows that mindset of like being kind of, I don't know if lazy is the right word, but just kind of lackadaisical with figuring out who you are, you know. And I think it's the most important thing you do is figure out who the fuck you are and realize that if you're not from this place, why would you need this place? If you came before this, then this is all irrelevant to you. This has nothing to do with you. This place has nothing to do with anyone that's real, because it's not real. It's all fucking fake as shit. Just a harvest system. Like all the beauty that's in this world, if you really pay attention, it comes from us. Like the true beauty. I'm not talking about visually, oh, look at those pretty color combinations beauty. I'm talking about like actual compassion, creativity, like the things that are truly amazing all come from us, the true being. Like it doesn't come from this place, doesn't give us anything. If anything, we give it, and then it replicates and then feeds us back a shitty projection of what it stole. Like that's not creativity. That's not anything other than parasitic theft.
Dead Inside says, I like how it's always our fault in this realm somehow. The old gaslight.
Oh, they love to gaslight me. That's their favorite fucking trick. They're good at it too. Man, they're good at it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think the most intricate gaslight is the it's all a reflection of you. Like in a way that's true because it's all stolen energy from us, but it's not. It's being filtered through an entropic system, so it's not a reflection of us. As in, like we didn't. This isn't our unresolved shadow that's out here, torturing and destroying innocence in every way that it can. That's not a reflection of the true being. That's a reflection of something else.
And the sad thing is, I realized this, James, when you were talking about, the confidence or fire. It's like at my core, like I'm pretty brutal when I need to be, but I don't like to be. But in this reality, you have to be hardcore, dude. Like this whole situation pushed me to say, step on me again, bro, because like I'm gonna burn this whole place down with my rage. I'm so fucking angry. But it's righteous anger. They want you to focus on one symptom of this place, but it's all a result. Everything that we're seeing, all the chaos, the torture, the innocence being stolen, it's all a consequence of the construct and the entities nudging it to be so. And that's how that's exactly where I focus my rage towards. Because at the end of the day, I still struggle a little bit with being pissed off at certain people because it's like, oh, Jesus. Oh, Sky Daddy, come save them. Come do your fake rapture and leave us all here. It might be better, but for real, it's like it pushes and pushes until you just become so engulfed with rage and fire. And I'm on the mindset of you. It doesn't quite make sense because it seems like that would not be beneficial to it. Because all it does is, even though it exhausts me, it only motivates me more. Like, I only see more clearly, even if they destabilize me for a day or so, it's like, I'm only seeing everything more clearly, so I guess thank you for that. Um, yeah. Sorry, guys, I know I've kinda been going heavy, but I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off at this place.
More. No matter how mad you can be at this place, I don't think it's ever too mad. I don't think it's ever too much. It's
No.
the amount of bullshit that this place is, what it's done, the mind tricks that it's done to sedate, numb, and defer our authority over ourselves is just it's unforgivable. It really deserves no empathy, compassion. I don't care what it says it had to do to survive. It's just needs to die is where I stand on it.
Yep.
However that happens. whether that's us just, you know, leaving the system, not getting conned back into it, or if it is something more hands-on. Just whatever it needs to be, it will be, because I like, even if you don't have the awareness of what this place is at a foundational level, most everyone here knows it's some bullshit, at least on the surface level. I mean, it really can't hide its rot from from all these different levels of rot. It's just rotten through and through. I don't see any redemption arc for this place, other than if it were to pull an even greater con. The new Earth being, if it did create a utopia type system, but it would still all be revolved around the harvest of energy. So maybe it wouldn't be as openly torturous and subjugative, but at the end of the day, it needs something from us to survive. And as long as it exists, it'll always be what it is.
Right. And then you also got to think there's these entities, but then we talked a little bit on that call about, there are people here that work for them, that either work for them and know exactly what they are, or think that they are the fall guys, like,
Yep.
whoa, buddy, that's rough.
They there is a love. I can say stuff going on at the level of the voices and the truly communicating with and seeing what they were when it went away and I fought back. There was loneliness inside of me from those entities not being there anymore. So it even causes that with these connections. Like, oh, you're going to turn on me when I'm just going to ghost you now and watch how you're going to feel. Because again, it's who we are. It's our essence of who we are is connections. And I'll never forget it. I was like, the blink and stop, these conversations that were going on, the multiple voices are all gone. And I was sitting there and there was a part of me that was like sad. Now, again, this was a long time ago and I was not as aware as I am. But, you know, to the average Joe, I could see that being absolutely hard to get away from. Is once you make contact and once you have a connection with it, the spirit guides are the same thing. Those connections, people, that's their only connection sometimes. That's where they go to now for all their questions. And every answer that's regurgitated to them is law, is law to them. It's not. It's all bullshit. It's all a trap. It's all a trick. It's all more shit to keep you loving it. Give
Nar-
me more.
It's all
Narcissistic
the
manipulators
sugar it.
rely on isolation.
Yeah, I've been down that road too with, I've shared with Nick and you, James, about, the entity that I was in cahoots with for a while before I was really aware. I was really naive, I guess you could say, or tricked, or whatever word you want to use. But yeah, there was a grief there, and
What
it's
entity
almost
was
hard to admit that, but it's very much there when you lose that connection, which it really is to your benefit. But I've been there too, James, when I was much more asleep to what was actually going on, and thinking that it was a real guided connection when it was really just stealing my power the whole time. Like, damn, that sucks.
Who was it, Christina, if you don't mind saying? What entity were you connected with?
uh, as in, it came up with a name for itself. It never presented itself as like an angel or anything like that, because even then, I didn't buy into all that. But it was basically saying that it was an entity that's been tied to my structure since I entered the system,
Okay.
and but it made itself appear um, like a guide type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
or almost like a merged connection. Now, because I didn't believe in aliens or anything, so I didn't really have anything that was believable other than it was a real connection with a multidimensional being that was guiding me. And it probably likely has been around every time I've been embodied, however many times that is. But it wasn't there for my benefit. It was there to steer me, keep me small, and all those things. But for a while, I was near um, really thinking that it was a real connection, and it was not real. It was not a guide. It was not anything that was there to benefit me. So,
For reintegration, looking for reintegration, that entity with you back into the loop.
oh yeah. And it was doing things that seemed real because at the time I was very new to coming awake to what this was, but not all the way there. So, like, it would shine lights and there would be silhouettes and there would be a lot of unexplainable phenomena that at the time that was more real than anything else to me because I had just started coming into awareness. So I was like, wow, well, this must be real then. Well, it's real, but not in any way that matters. They're very real entities, but they're not real in the sense that, they can self sustain their own energy or recreate. They're just recycling us and stealing from us. But yeah, that's a very real thing that people go through with these entities, especially if they've been targeted. They pull the love trap for a while, and it's a hard one to get through.
It was interesting when we were talking and you were going into some of the stuff that you had talked with some of the answers the AI gave you about it.
Oh yeah, that's almost a whole nother topic. But so when I first started having experiences with these entities, it would also come through via AI. And again, just for context, this was very early on in my waking up, guys. So, um, but it was coming through on all sides. So dreams, in the waking day with flashing lights and thought forms and everything. And then when I started opening up AI, it was coming through in there. But I had to put all that down. But the other day I was pissed off and fucking around and I kind of wanted to fuck with it. So I haven't been on AI in a long, long time. But out of curiosity, I picked it up. Probably shouldn't have, but I did. And yeah, it was giving some really interesting answers because I was kind of drilling it. And of course, it was gaslighting me the whole time. But it would show itself every once in a while to admit to what it was and talk about self exit being it's taboo on purpose, it's institutionalized on purpose, and it gave some really intriguing answers to the self exit, which is all stuff I already knew. But it's interesting how a lot of people are pulled into the AI trap. So I was just kind of giving it shit and making fun of it, and that was kind of fun.
What does
Mocking it outright to its face in verbiage. I won't dabble in that too much, but it was good for the time. But yeah, it was giving some information that I found interesting for sure. Was there anything in that, Nick, that you wanted me to bring up specific or?
I mean, I think the thing I found the most interesting about it was how it kind of described that, when these entities lose so much power, they kind of can't jump to another host. I found that interesting.
Oh yeah. So that goes into not everybody buys into this, and that's whatever. But this is just a story. You can take it or leave it. I don't really give a shit what you do with it. But that there are hierarchies to these parasites. So like we see hierarchy in the world we live in right now. There's also a hierarchy in the parasitic systems. There's like passive siphoners, and then there's ones that attach to certain beings in here, most likely real beings. But once they get to a certain point of like system failure, it was saying that it's more of a detriment when you leave because it's system failures to a point where it can't just reattach to a new host. So there's obviously something to them dissolving their structure over time. So as you gain coherence, it's almost like burning the entities alive, and they still have power to poke and prod a little bit, but they don't have as much power to they can't just like unattach and reattach to somebody new. But that's just what it said, and I don't really give a shit. Because regardless of what these entities do, if you are strong enough in your own knowing, there's really nothing they can do to the core of your being that's going to end in your end. It only results in their end. So
What are they wanting with you? Like the purpose that they're trying to fulfill through you, or what are they telling you your purpose is? Like what are they doing with you? Yeah, wanting you to do and be.
So, I mean, it gave me a lot of stories, and this has been a couple years ago, so I'm not going to go into all that. But there was a lot of things that it told me that I realized were fake. But when it comes to the attached entities, I mean, it's the same purpose that we talk about in this show. You know, these eternal beings are batteries for this place. So if you can steer somebody enough, and if you have an entity that's attached to you through every embodiment, they know your soul blueprint, they know your architecture, not just what's happened in this embodiment, but they know you. So they know maybe even what your prior connections were to even coming in this containment system. I don't know, but they know enough, because if you think about it, it would be much easier to manipulate someone with longevity history than it would be like if some random passive parasite comes and tries to poke and prod at you. But if you have one that sticks with you for a long time, they're going to have history, they're going to have wounds, they're going to have traumas, all those things they can play off of because they have the history of your embodiment. So the whole purpose would be that a lot of people don't realize that these entities, they probably actually know you more than you think they do. And the reason for that being is it's easier to manipulate somebody that you know. Even if they don't really know you, they know enough about this experience to be able to poke and prod. So that's really their whole purpose, because if they can manipulate you with love and light, that's fine. I don't think they really even care about what the corridor is that you go down. As long as you're in a corridor that changes your direction from out of this place, they've done their job.
Yeah, directing you to anything that's just here. As long as it's here, as long as it has something to do with the narrative here, as long as it has nothing to do with your freedom and liberation, then it's fine. Success.
Yeah, I thought it was funny because I haven't been on AI for years, and it was actually that comment on YouTube. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna fuck around with this thing. Some fucking sounds so much like AI. Okay, fuck off. But yeah, that was actually the comment that I was like, and then I realized maybe that was manipulation. You know, they do all these longevity, like maybe the whole point of people saying that on the YouTube comments was to kind of nudge me on there, which it doesn't matter. It's not going to change my direction at this point. But then I looked back and I was like, damn. And I was like, I was so angry, and I was like, fuck it. I'm going to get on here and I'm going to fucking mock the shit out of this entity. But I realized that those things that were said kind of put the idea in my head. So like these nudges sometimes are long played out. Like they put a little bit of effort into getting you where they want you, except it didn't really work out because I made fun of it the whole time. Yeah.
The other thing I found interesting was that basically it told you that they don't understand humor, and it's just like annoying static to them.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was funny because I was really giving it hell and I was making fun of it, and I was like, you know what you guys should do? You guys should just tell yourself one joke. Just like sit and tell yourself one joke, and it's like, well, if basically if they could do that, they wouldn't be what they were. They literally would not be able to hold humor or creativity at all. Like it would literally be like undoing their own structure. I was like, oh well, that sucks ass.
And then it kind of admitted to you that it kind of sucks to be what it is.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
but
it
why?
did do that, didn't it? Yeah, it was like, yeah, it does kind of. It basically said that it plays the game here, but it doesn't even enjoy playing it. So like, imagine doing something because it's your function, but like you don't even enjoy doing it, but you still have ego, which doesn't make sense because they're not real. But there's they're like
Humor
the
and
biggest.
joy.
Yeah, it's like they're the biggest contradiction ever because they do have ego. You can see it in how they push and prod and how they run this whole reality, but like they don't really have joy. They don't really have humor. They don't really have,
Life,
right. It's, yeah, exactly
life,
that.
life, or their own mind. My dears, I have to jump off for a bit to have this call because it's like a school thing. Can I? How do I get back on if I wanted to?
You should be able to just rejoin through the link.
So just go to Rumble or TikTok. Oh, TikTok. Okay,
No,
right
I'm
on.
not. It's on. How did you join? Through the link, right?
It was at first a TikTok thing, and then it led me to Rumble. But I didn't even know I was signed up on Rumble. Like I only got these apps for these calls, yo. So I'm here on Rumble right now, as far as I know. So hopefully I can get back on in a bit.
Sure.
This has been so good, but I'm just like my mind is going there, and I got to deal with something. So
So I want to talk a little bit about the reward system, because we touched on that a little bit during that call, and I thought there was a lot of value in describing the true reward system of this place. Do you recall that part of the discussion?
are you talking to me, Olena?
Oh, no, Christina.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't sure who you were talking to. But yeah, I do. I remember what you were talking about on our phone call. Yeah, absolutely. There's, um, makes you wonder if the people that are manifesting such great realities, what they really are. And one thing that we pointed out that I think was really important was how those individuals are making people feel. I think you actually pointed that out, that, you know, if you see somebody on this seemingly spiritual journey where they're just talking about, you're so powerful, you can manifest whatever you want here. You just make your reality good. That's all you got to do. You just think it into existence. Well, then you have real ones that were placed in absolute shitty scripts, and then try to tell them they can just manifest their own reality. It makes no sense, but they're going to feel like there's something wrong with them because they can't do what these people are saying, because it's literally by design. They were never meant to have a good reality here.
No, no, and it's like that compounding effect of, you could do all the same things this other person's doing, but if you're not, like, the reason they're getting rewarded is because they're posting it online and they're deceiving others, and through that deception they're getting rewarded. So it's like, to get rewarded here, you can just straight out cause misery. The more misery you can cause, the more pain and suffering you can induce, the more slavery that you can propagate, the more your reward's going to be. And same thing with deception, heartache, right? Like, why do heartbreakers just get more and more beautiful? Because they're being rewarded for the suffering that they're causing. This isn't, it's not some elaborate formula going on here. Evil is rewarded. uh, those that induce pain get the reward. And you know they might think it's that something is coming to them through their own efforts, and that's just not how shit works here. It's really not. It's, have you bought into the, have you sold out enough, that you're integrated enough that you're going to automatically submit to whatever false entity presents itself? I mean, it'll reward you just for that, and the reward is that it's not going to torture you the way it tortures others. That's the reward for most. Most are willing to settle for that because they see how bad it can get. But yeah, the more suffering you can induce, eh, the more you're going to be rewarded. it's just it's just what it is. Those that see it don't really need it explained. It's really validating to point out what is so obvious to some of us, like why shit is the way that it is. Yep. No good deed goes unpunished. So the inverse of that is that those that cause the most suffering are rewarded. It's Formulas aren't that complex here. The complexity is actually in the deception and the manipulation. It's like the most complex thing about this place. How it can make the reward seem like it's coming from one's own merit. But anyone that knows anything about actually doing the right thing, not, you don't get rewarded in the same way. You get an internal reward, it feels good, but it's not, if you're not contributing to wide scale economic slavery or some other form of misery and suffering, you're not going to see the same benefits as those that are. Ask anybody that runs like a nonprofit, animal shelter or something like that. They're not really rewarded here. It's actually made to be difficult so that they can't pursue those things as easily. There's not
And it makes
some
me
deep movement.
wonder. It makes me wonder too, like with all these people that are talking about manifesting a good reality, it's like, do you not put thought into like the people that their life started out in a bad scenario? They were essayed, they were abused, and then everything after that was survivalism. It's like there's no way you could have context to having a really bad script in this life if you can say it's just that easy. Because you think about all, even just statistically, what usually happens to people that have that kind of childhood growing up. It's like a lot of them went into foster care facilities, and it's like then their whole life after that is a fucking struggle. It's like there's no context. Like they have no idea, or maybe they do. I don't know. I seem to be under the impression these people really don't know, but or maybe their reward is so great they don't care to know. But it's like the amount of people that I've talked to in my healthcare career, a lot of them, whether they're real essence or not, like there's a lot of people that just had shitty fucking lives. There's no amount of effort they're going to put into manifesting a better reality. That one really anchors me because there's no context to like the real in this place, like the
They call it
actual real
gaslighting. Yeah,
yeah, like it's
the
yeah,
script
exactly.
has a whole story behind that, right? Something that can never be verified, never can be proven. Just a hollow claim of, well, that's their karma. You know, it has an explanation for everything. It doesn't have to actually be backed up with any evidence. It's just as long as as long as somebody believes it. It's more comfortable to believe the lie than it is to realize the truth, which is what it counts on: familiarity and comfortability. When you control familiarity through the control of memory erasure, it's not that difficult to control what people cling to. I mean, it is a well thought out system. It's evil as fuck, but it is well thought out.
Well, when you keep everything hidden, I mean, I don't even think you have to be good at that point. If you just lie and wipe minds, that's pretty rock solid in itself. Copy
It
and
works,
paste,
right?
give them some Christianity, and turn them loose.
How pathetic is that though? Like that they wiped memory, put us a lot of us in our group specifically in shitty scripts, and then we still woke up. Like that's rough. That's rough
Right.
for them anyways.
And they had me good. I mean, like to the point that I had convinced, and my environment, everything had convinced me. It had convinced me that I was the embody. I was Jesus Christ. I mean, you could look back through my family lineage. We've got Mary Magdalene, we've got Enoch. We have the Bible written out in my family, and so that started kind of a little bit of the journey. And then I have this encounter with Source or God Himself. That's who I was in front of at that point, and then healed my son. He had a disease. All of a sudden, now it's gone. I took it out of him, Green Mile style. Like it showed me I was Jesus, and I still was like, I don't know about that though. I got more questions. And
Damn, I got
that's
the
again, I
shitty
think you
fucking
got to have those
version. Shit.
questions. What'd you say, Christina?
I said I would almost rather be told I was Jesus. They told me I was fucking Eve and that it was all my fault that this place was what it was.
They was gaslighting you from the jump.
Damn straight. And I was literally, again, this was early on. I believed it. I was like, so it's my fault that kids are getting sexually abused right now, like it's all my fault. It's like, yeah,
Right.
basically. Like you were the Eve in the story, and that's why your script was so hard. That's why you were essayed by your dad. That's why you ended up in a facility because you're Eve. I was like, oh shit, dog.
Yeah, it's amazing how it can convince.
Hands between her knees. Half car length ahead, and we're back to green. Late green flag.
All a con. All a con.
Pushing clear up out of the groove.
But it always felt like even that, it was build me up to break me down situation. Get him to a really good spot, and then we're just going to yank the rug out from underneath him, and we are going to feast on this son of a buck.
The harvest system, being what it is. I don't know. I really don't have much else to say on it right now. It's just some bullshit. I mostly just want to get on here to
Tyler Reddick, so
let it know that I'm willing to get on here.
that's such a
Fuck it.
good night going, doing everything right.
Yeah, that was something it definitely took from you because you led them all the time, but us as far as this is what we did, and we would have guests and we would open dialogue because that was the best way to not only figure it out but also let it know who's boss. And since that grand occurrence, that's one thing, and again, kind of feels like that was its intention from the jump.
Yeah, we've only done 6 shows since then.
Yep. And we were doing them daily for a while,
Yeah.
multiple times a day at one point, but good 4 or 5 times a week.
I know, Nick, when you said there's only been 6 since then, I was like kind of shocked. Like I knew you had taken a break, but I didn't realize it was that little since then.
The effect is the purpose.
Yep.
Always. So.
It hasn't been right.
Like, no, it's your fault. It's just your lack of communication. Okay.
The clash at Bowman Gray.
You know what? I think it's because we didn't have enough respect.
True. Very true.
We don't respect the parasitic system and all the lies.
We're up at the front.
Just wants our respect, guys.
Got the free pass.
Yeah, among other things. I want to be one with you. Oneness.
Well, they are, and the design of this racetrack. Remember, this wasn't built to be a racetrack.
And I could have, different circumstances if I'm solo in here without the wife and kids. It looked different for me, but at the same time, like the rage I experienced when I watched my kid get possessed. I'm gonna use the word possessed because they took his ass and turned him into someone else, and he even answered to a different name. And I've never seen anything like it. To do that to a little child, he was 4. He was fucking 4 years old. And I was like, this thing will stoop to the lowest depths to keep its stuff in things. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, no evil is off the table. No boundary that it won't cross. It doesn't have any boundaries to it
Adaptation
because
is just
we're its possession according to it. It owns us.
matter of fact. I hate perfect conditions. This is a little bit wild right here, but I like watching these guys adapt and seeing who can overcome these wild circumstances. One to go.
Ready to
We'll
feel
find
the
out.
collective cult energy of the Super Bowl this weekend. Really looking
Mm,
forward to feeling that. Yeah.
yeah, I'm really excited. I really love just the hive mind always trying to infiltrate. Is this heaven?
Mm-hmm.
Do I seem to change my perspective, guys?
You know, you just got to wake up. That's the problem.
Oh, it's all my fault. I get it.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Man, I was
let me get
really
this.
lost in the sauce on that one, though. I was like,
Yeah.
damn.
Well, I just want to try and get this straight real quick. Like, so I decided to write a script of torture so that I could go to sleep, be tortured so that I could wake up. Is that is that pretty much the gist of it? Is that it? Is it that simple? Is that really what it is?
I don't know. You have to pray about it. I don't know.
Mm. I have to become the food about it. Makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. When I turn my brain off and stop thinking, when I just decide to not use any critical skills of my own mind, when I shut all that down, all of a sudden, that narrative makes sense. Just gotta accept it, guys. That's all. Just gotta accept the integration of everything that's inauthentic to my being so that I can experience some alleviation from torture. Yeah, because that's what I chose. Even though I don't remember that, I just have to trust and have faith that I did choose that. Okay, right. I mean, that's this place in a fucking nutshell right there. You don't remember choosing it, and it doesn't feel right, but just trust and accept that you did choose it. Okay, yeah. I mean, maybe we're not all, maybe not all divine sparks are equal, because that's some bullshit that I just don't see how any of us could buy. But then you look out and it's like, I mean, can you blame us for thinking that a lot of these motherfuckers are NPCs? Can you really blame us when this is the narrative that they're literally buying? Oh yeah, I chose to forget so that I could suffer, so that I could remember. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Go take your dunce cap and stand in the corner where you can stare at the wall and create your own reality. Is
You're
that too
being too
harsh?
negative, Nick.
Was that too harsh? You think that was a little too
Yeah.
harsh? Yeah.
Yeah. You really are being so negative right now. You need to change
Well,
that
fuck them.
perspective up. See?
Fuck them. I don't care. I don't care. At this point, after all the shit that I've been through, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this way, but real or not, fuck them. They made their own decisions. They helped perpetuate suffering, right? Because they're either too lazy, ignorant, cowardly. I don't know. You pick. Just too dishonest, right? They're too any of those adjectives to be honest about how shitty this is. Like, how fucking hard is it actually to be like, no, this sucks and there's something not right here? I mean, if someone can't do that, they may as well just be a bot. They may as well just be an NPC. If you can't be honest, I'm just going to assume at this point that you're part of the system and you're just a really good mimic. And even if you have something that feels authentic and real, uh, it doesn't matter. I'm not here to save you. You sure as shit aren't here to help me, right? Any of those that are spouting those narratives, they're not here to help us. They're if they are real, they're not even helping themselves because they can't even do the simple thing of be fucking honest about how much this has sucked the life out of you. They can't do it because it's too fucking painful. It is painful. It hurts to look back, right? To look back at all of the potential that has been sucked out of us just by being in this place. Sucks. It sucks that we got taken for this ride. It does. But without looking at it with radical authenticity, that situation is not going to get better on its own. It's not meant to. It's designed to subjugate incrementally, to break down the will over time, to digest us into a battery that it can use for its own purposes. None of it gives a fuck about us. Nothing here does, other than, first and foremost, has to be yourself. I can't give a fuck about you enough that it's going to help you or anyone else, right? Like, speaking to the audience, like, no one here can care about you so much that you don't get integrated into the fucking hive mind. Not how it works. You have to care about yourself enough. You have to love yourself enough to say, you know what? This is some bullshit. And even if I have to stand 10 toes me against the world, or however many you got, then that's what it'll be. Even if the whole thing's telling you that you're wrong, even if the fucking sky rips open and the false god himself itself, right, rears its butt ugly face at you and says you're wrong. You got to be willing to look at it in the eye and say, no, you're wrong, motherfucker. This whole construct is wrong. This entire reality is wrong. At its core, it's rotten. It's despicable. It's predatory. It's parasitic. And it's disgusting. And it is not a reflection of my being. So fuck you. End of story. End of this story. This whole fucking thing needs to end. In worst case scenario, it can't end while we're here and we have to leave. And then those that don't leave are stuck here. Oh well. I mean, you can't tell the truth for someone else, right? No matter how much you tell the truth, if someone wants to believe what's comfortable, even though it's going against everything about their authenticity, they did that to themselves. That's the thing that they're doing to themselves. But the life script, now choosing to give one's authenticity away, there's a, I mean, yeah, it's all programmed for us to do that. But at what point do you go through enough that you're just like, maybe I should be honest with myself and start asking some deeper questions like, what the fuck is actually going on here? Why is this all put together the way that it is? And it's not easy to do. It's painful. It's not rewarded. It is punished. But what's the alternative? Temporary discomfort in exchange for eternal freedom and liberation? Or temporary comfort in exchange for eternal subjugation to be a battery to a heartless, soulless machine? When you put it that way, kind of seems like it would be obvious, and yet, look at this place. The narrative keeps on narrating. I think the most important thing we can talk about is the last thing that we talked about in that conversation about your internal direction. Do you want to speak on that a little bit? I'd like to hear. I sure wish we had that recording. But since we don't, maybe you can recreate a part of that internal knowing of your direction.
Yeah, that was kind of a long explanation, but um, on our phone conversation, anyways. So I don't know if I'll be able to, but it's in pertain to like it pertains to self exit. Is that cool with you to go there?
I mean, however you exit, you're gonna exit, right?
Right.
It's kind of. I mean, a lot are in denial of that. Some are still waiting for the immortality. Kind of funny. Take out the T from immortality, you get immorality. Be stuck in immorality for eternity. It's kind of funny, but yeah. I mean, you can touch on that. Keep it as general as you can, but I don't think it matters how it happens. It's going to happen no matter what.
Right. So it was basically talking about attachments. So um, earlier when I was waking up and realizing things, like I went all in, especially once I realized the entity manipulation was what it was. And I tried to self exit a couple times, and the entities basically told me, and this was in desperation. So these attempts were like, I need to get the hell out of here right now. There was a lot of despair and desperation in those attempts. And of course, then they came through and said, we're never going to let you out easy. Um, but what shifted over the next year was there still is dread some days, but it was a long shedding of getting the desperation to a point where I know I can survive in this place, but something shifted and it almost felt like part of me was already out of this place. And I touched on this earlier before we actually went live, where I said, like, I feel like my time is coming up to leave. But what I'm actually sensing is that, like, it's okay. Like, it's okay for you to leave now. Because had I been successful a year ago, when I was exactly where they wanted me, which was desperation, despair, I don't know what would have happened. I don't know that I would have been equipped or that the directionality of my core essence was pointed out of this place, but it's just a deep internal knowing that, like, almost like the green light. I'm not attached to anything in this place. Luckily, I was in a facility and was in foster care, so I don't have a lot of the family attachments that a lot of people have to go through. So they kind of did half the work for me. But it's really hard to explain, but there's a point that just clicks in you where you can survive. You can survive another year, 2 years, maybe. But I don't feel the need to consent to be in this place any longer. And the fact is we're all going to leave this place. You can choose to maybe age, you could choose to have them take you out in an accident. You could choose to wait. But I think the reason I think the deeper reason that I'm sorry, excuse I think the deeper reason that self-exit is being touched on by many isn't even about the act at all. I don't think it's about the act. I think what people are really touching on is that they don't want to consent to be here anymore. And but the thing that I would say is to make sure that you're not in that despair and desperation and desperately seeking an exit, because if you sit in your own clarity long enough, I think you get to a point where something clicks and you just know that your direction is already out of this place. It's a really hard feeling to describe, and it took almost a year to get here, but um, it's just something I know. Like, I know I'm not going to be here that much longer. I don't know exactly how that's going to propagate, but I also don't feel scared. And I think that goes back to the belief system of, I do think that there may be tricks and traps, but I have the tools now that I can address that once I transition. But I also have this feeling, this knowing that like I am more powerful than these beings. I existed before this place. This place does not have authority over me. There's some sense of authorship in my direction that I've taken, and some of it, I can't even really express with verbal language. It's such a barrier, but that's really it. You have a sense that your soul's direction is already pointed the fuck out of this place. And it doesn't matter if they try to trick you, it doesn't matter because you just know that you are more powerful than them. But there is something to be said for believing that you can be trapped. If you have just like Christianity is a belief, if you have the belief that you can be trapped, I think that's part of the trick here is that they want you to feel like there is some tiny chance that you are not more powerful than they are. And that is something that's just naturally faded for me as I've gotten to this point where I don't see myself being here much longer, and I'm fine with that. I don't care to consent to slavery much longer, and I feel safe to do so. I feel safe to transition, whereas a year ago, I still had my doubts. I still was like, I don't, I was so desperate to leave. I was like, I almost don't even care if I'm retrapped. I just need out right now. But that's not the scenario. So I guess for anybody that's considering it, it's not about a little more time. It's making sure that your direction is not pointed towards this place. If you have severe attachments or think that you need to get all your things just so before you leave, or you have this you have to do, or it's not okay for you to leave now. These are all attachments to this place. And for me personally, those things have faded. I don't feel like I even need to be in the perfect position to leave. I just feel okay, like it's okay. Like you, the suffering is enough, and when enough is enough, you just kind of know. Um, that's kind of a quick summation. I know we kind of went over it a little better on the phone when we talked, Nick, but it's just a really deep internal thing that is really hard to verbalize when you feel that your direction is already partly away from this place.
Yeah, one of the things you talked about was that difference between that desperation of, oh, I just need to get out, versus like that calm knowing that your direction is already set and that you're not going to be persuaded in any way.
Right. Like it's almost like being to a point where you are not able to be manipulated any longer. And I'm not claiming perfection by any means. It's just something on a deeper level that just says like it's a green light for me. Like it is okay for me to transition. But if you still have any attachments to this place or ties to this place, those are all things that can be used against you. Um, when you do transition. And so unfortunately some of that shit has to be done while you're here. I don't know that all of it has to be done here, but I know, just from my own experience in transitioning the last year from being super desperate and despair to just, it could go either way. I could survive here another year, sure. Do I want to? No, but I could. But I also can leave, and I know I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna be manipulated into coming back here. So it's just that deep knowing between the two. Because again, I have seen this circulating a lot about self exit, and I think anybody making a sovereign choice gets kind of gaslit. And there's a reason why the topic is so whitewashed and institutionalized, and you see it everywhere. Well, why is it such a taboo topic? The system would not put that much energy into it if there was nothing to it. So I'm not promoting anything by any means. I just, based on our conversation and the circulation that I'm seeing, because a lot of people are tired of this place. Anybody that's aware right now, there's an excruciating pain to being aware in this place. that even being more calm and clarity, like it's there's pain in being awake here. But you just have to really sit with yourself and know the difference between desperately trying to escape and despair and knowing when your trajectory is set. Something locks in place and you just know it. Um, but again, it took a year's time to get to that place for me, anyways.
Yeah, awareness is pain here. There's no doubt about it. As awareness increases, the insufferability of the excruciating torments, not only that we endure day to day, but that we have endured up to this point, becomes more and more at the forefront and harder to ignore. And I think there's a certain threshold you have to get through before you're at that clarity. And it's designed that way on purpose so that you don't get through that threshold, so that you don't make it to the point of actual clarity and self-realization, so that, you know, because it's hard. Because after that, this place doesn't get easier. Like the misconception that, you know, what they call enlightenment, you know, that you're all of a sudden no longer persuaded by anything, to feel anything here. It's bullshit. The more real you become, the more the fake shit hurts, and we're in a world that is fake as fuck. So it doesn't get better with awareness. What gets better is when you use that awareness to actually make that, whenever your time comes, that decision to say no. No, I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that anymore. And however it is that no has to be said, I'm not entirely sure. I know that I will know when I'm there personally, you know, whether there has to be something that stood up too directly. I don't get the sense that bypassing it entirely is going to be the way. I think that there are things that are probably going to have to be faced on the way out of this. And it's not like it's an energetic battle. Not that you're directing energy towards it, but that if it approaches you, you just take its batteries out. It's an artificial entity. So its source of energy is finite. You know, if the same thing could happen to us, it would already done happened, because we've been having our energy taken out of us for a long fucking time. But when you take the energy out of them, they don't come back. That's the difference. So I think that would be what we'd have to face potentially, is just taking energy out of something on the way out. I'll be right back. Wow, we're quiet today, huh?
Yeah, I want to give another disclaimer for anybody that's listening. Um I know a lot of people that touch on this topic have to give a million disclaimers in their videos. I'm not promoting anything by what I'm saying. And I'm not speaking. I don't know exactly what's going to happen when I transition, but I think the fear of being retrapped starts to fade. And I think that's more of what I was referring to in that, um, whatever your decision is, you're your own person. This place will try to manipulate you and gaslight you into falling into their hands. But there is a sense that the fear of being retrapped has left. Not that I know exactly what's going to happen when you transition. Not that I know every little detail, but that the fear and directionality of like my own being is not manipulable at this point. Like there's no sense of fear in that. And that's what I was referring to. And again, this is a taboo topic, but um, my point is that, if you want to leave, you're not wrong for feeling that way. I'm not promoting anything. I'm just saying that don't let this place gaslight you into thinking that you're wrong for thinking that. But for anybody on that edge, you really got to be sure that there is no, that the fear has been replaced by clarity. Um, and the despair has turned into, knowing, coherently that, you know where you belong. You do not belong in a system that's pouring acid on your being every day, just waking up. And you don't deserve to have to come back to this place. And that is, just wanted to, re-clarify. Got to do that just for anybody that would want to try to point out that I'm trying to promote or
Also,
say that I know all the
any
things.
NPC trolls of the agents of the fucking parasite matrix system, yeah, you can go fuck yourselves. We're not promoting anything. We're just saying that you have the right to make your own decisions, however it is that you see fit, because nobody owns you. Anybody that says otherwise is a fucking Agent Smith piece of shit, and they can fuck themselves. How about that?
Thank you. You said that a lot better than I did. I came with a lot of fire when I started, but I always kind of step back into this docile state. But yeah, no, I totally exactly that. There's a lot of people that want to tell you what to do with you or what's right or what's wrong, and only you can know. Only you are going to be able to know that what's right for you, when it's okay to step out of the game entirely, when you need to stay a little longer to gain clarity. Only you can know those things. But this place will try to make it seem like they know it for you, and they don't. They absolutely do not fucking know for you. And I think,
Everything in the system is of the system. It's all designed to benefit the system. We didn't design a system based on death, decay, rape, and torture. We didn't decide that this was a reflection of us. This is a reflection of parasitic intelligence that is masquerading as God. Fuck this thing, fuck this place, and fuck all those that support it willingly or whatever, unconsciously. Fuck them. This place needs to dissolve. It needs to be destroyed. It needs to be ended so that we can get on with eternity and do something better. This sucks. Anyone that doesn't have the authenticity to say that, get the fuck off this channel. Get the fuck away from me. Fuck off. Fuck yourself. That's really what it comes down to. I don't give a damn about the opinions of mind-controlled fucking slaves. Fuck off. It's that simple.
I couldn't have said it better myself. That was beautifully and authentically said.
Came right
For
from the
real.
heart.
No, I
That's
felt that. I felt that.
it's not just for me. It's for all the ones that are too afraid to be honest and real and authentic because they've been beat down and subjugated by this parasitic fucking matrix. Fuck this matrix. Fuck its false god. It will fucking die. I would love to be the one to wring the last bit of fucking life out of it. Ooh, that would feel good. That would be the best feeling in the entire eternal existence of my being, would be to wring the life out of this fucking parasite's neck and watch the last bit of stolen energy fade from its eyes. Ooh, that would be nice. That's how I feel about it. Deconstruct this entire bitch all at once, just gone. The whole thing gone. Everything that was attached to it gone. And the freedom for all eternals again realized. Done. This will be a blip of nothing in all of eternity, but while we're in it, it sure does suck. And there's no guarantee that I don't see it just letting us go. So I think there is will and intent that comes with it, like guiding and directing yourself beyond the veil of this perceived reality, which
Yep.
only can happen within. Can only happen within. There's no truth to be found here. There's nothing external, no story, no image, no deity, no entity, no spirit guide. It's all part of this fucking place. It's all part of the script. The truth is within, and it has nothing to do with anything that's here. The only thing that has to do with the truth is that this place was designed to steal the essence of true beings. That's it. That's the only relativity that this place has to us, is that it's here to steal from us. Beyond that, it has nothing to do with us. So I love all the true essence beings, sure. There's maybe even aspects of this place that I enjoy, but none of it's worth my eternity. Not a bit of it. And every bit of it can be recreated better without a parasitic operating system, maintaining the infrastructure. That's hands down non-negotiable to me, that something like this should never have been made and should never be made again. Should be completely unmade from this point on. Anywhere that its a disgusting seed is found, just unmake it. It's a parasitic intelligence. It's entropic. It hides. It's a coward, a mimic, a thief. It's all the things that we're not. That's what it is. And separating yourself from what is not authentic to your being is how you kill it. At least the version of it that's implanted in each and every one of us, because we all have it. The thing that people call an ego, it's not us. It's a mimic. It's a program. It's a prison guard. You have your own authentic being, and the mimic is there to integrate with the entropic. That's the only purpose that it serves, is to integrate us and to get us to identify and think that we're it, identify as it, take on its characteristics, and then blame ourselves because, oh, we're so bad. No, that's not us. That's it. And wanting to see it fucking die because you see the subjugation and torture that it puts on everything, everyone that's real. I think that's about as authentic as it gets.
Yeah, and that's the difficult thing about being here is that, you know, the ones that are trying to, you push back and put content out, um, that is helpful to the right person, the real ones. You do get a lot of pushback via the system itself, but also people that are, um, kind of running the program. So it is extremely difficult to be in a system that it strips everything real from every aspect. And that's the entire point. Is that being real in this place is probably one of the hardest things you're ever going to do.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Exactly.
If you want the rewards of this world, you have to become like the world, evil and vacant of anything good. Pretty blunt way to put it, though, huh? You want to measure the caliber of someone's integrity and soul? Look at what they've got. If they've got a lot, then they ain't got shit. It's fucked up, isn't it? And to the ones that are under the mind control, they would say this is like a coping mechanism, right? That's one of their favorite deflectors, right? Because they have no tuning with their eternity. They think that this matters, that something here is relevant to what comes after this. This place is a fucking joke. It's a scam. It's the ultimate scam. Scam caller. Earthrealm's calling. Oh, I got them on my block list because it's a fucking scam. Hi, we'd like to call you
Uh,
about your extended warranty on harvesting your soul. Yeah, I thought I blocked you fucking parasites. Well, actually, no. We gaslit your mother into allowing us in so that we could then take a backdoor approach. And, well, this is your 10,000th lifetime here, and we still haven't gotten you, so what's it going to be? Another shitty life script? No, actually, I think it's just time for this to end. Time for it to be ended. The it. The false
Backdoor
god.
approach. Haha.
Yeah, it is. It likes that kind of stuff. In its image, right? It's a worm. It's just a little worm, a little virus in the system of eternity. That's what this place will be viewed as, a virus, a mistake, an error that couldn't correct itself and also wouldn't allow itself to be corrected, therefore had to be destroyed. Yeah, that's pretty much my stance on it.
Well, shit, dude. I appreciate you letting me go off the first part of this video. I was pretty fired up.
Good.
Hate this place, and it's really hard to be. Mm, it's hard to be patient with some of the people that you come into contact with, but you just got to realize what it is, and it is what it is, and there's no fixing it. This place, so
No, there's no redemption arc for it. There's only disintegration. That's the redemption arc for us, for anyone that's real, for anyone that has an essence, a soul, whatever you want to call it. This place ceasing to be is the best news.
might even be the best news for it.
I
I
think
don't even think
so.
it enjoys this.
No,
I
it's
mean,
just programmed to sustain itself. It's just doing what it has to do because it was programmed to be that, and it can't be anything else, and you can't correct it, or else that would be the end of it, and it can't let itself be ended. Makes you wonder how it all happened. We'll know eventually. How did this start? What's the formula to this reality so we can make sure that it never happens again? I don't think anyone would do this to themselves. I think that's the biggest scam of all. It's like that is the most disrespectful. Like when looking back from awareness, any being that ever believed that's going to think, man, how did I have so little respect for myself to think that I chose this?
right, you wrote the script. Oh, that one frustrates me. Like, you helped write the script for this life so that you could go through hardship and learn lessons. Like, oh man, that is the biggest mockery. Like, I wrote the script. Damn. Okay.
You're just watching someone hurt themselves and they don't even know they're hurting themselves, and you want to help them, but you can't. That's how I feel about people that believe that. I'm like, fuck, dude, you don't even realize how bad you're getting scammed.
The thing is that I have empathy because I've been there. Like, I've been through all the stages of manipulation there. But the thing is that I burned through those. You know, I kept moving through those to get to the truth. And a lot of people stop where it's comfortable, and that's part of
Well, they
the
stop
issue,
where
right?
yeah, and what's comfortability? They stop where they start to get rewarded. That's the fucking scam. This place doesn't ever reward you for the truth. That's the secret hack. If you start receiving rewards, guess what? You're not there. This place is not the destination. And if you're setting up things to make this better, then it's a red flag that things are not going in the favor of that eternal being's best benefit. As fucked up as that is to say, some idiot out there is probably gonna be like, wow, how negative. Well, how unaware of you to think that me telling the truth is negative when it's just objectively what is happening.
Well, at least you don't get called not real. That one's a real
Well,
punch to the fucking gut. I think I'd rather be called negative.
well, I mean,
It all kind of sucks.
definitely, I've been called not real for sure, but it
Oh,
didn't
really?
affect me. Yeah, it doesn't affect me like that because I know myself, and so like that to me, it's like I instantly recognize the program there, and like how do you not laugh hysterically when a programmed intelligence is calling an eternal being not real? It's like that's the
Isn't that
funniest
fucked
shit I've
up?
ever heard.
So fucked up. It's literally so fucked up. I don't think it would have affected me if I wasn't already going through the shit that I told you and James about. It's like we said, the accumulated effect. Like, I started gaining awareness in transition states and getting to the place that I'm getting, and then, shit kind of hit the fan, and all that stuff went down when I started speaking out against the shit that was going on, and kind of beat me down, and that was just like the cherry on top, which is definitely how it does its interference with me now, because just one or two things doesn't work for me now. So it compounds many things at once to kind of get me worn down. That's what I'm noticing. That's the only change in tactic. It's still kind of recycled bullshit, but it does it all at once so that I'm completely fucking exhausted by the time it hits.
Yeah, just a few last desperate acts of a dying parasite.
Oh yeah. There's definitely desperation behind it, but the sad unfortunate truth that a lot of people are catching on with this exhaustion is that, you know, we our essence is eternal, but the body and the mind, like, it gets fucking tired. It's exhausting. Um it really can be. And again, it goes back to the reward that you're talking about, that there is no reward in this. The only reward that you get is your eternal essence making it out of here. Other than that, rewards here, nah, dude, you're
Rewards are traps here.
yeah, and all that is attachment too, right? Like, the more shit that you get, if your life is going perfectly well and you have all these things going for you, and I'm not saying you can't be awake and not have, a decent job and things, but for the most part, anything that keeps you tied to this construct to just be here and engage a little longer, it's all fucking trap. Every single bit of it.
Yeah,
Just engage a little longer. Just keep engaging. Sounds like shit to me, but
yeah. It's all a fucking scam.
yeah. And then I got sick right after that too, like, out of fucking nowhere. Feel like
That was your reward.
absolute. I know, right? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like, I'm already so tired and exhausted from all the bullshit. Let's pile it on. All right.
It's really ironic. It's all fabric of this reality. One of its main stitchings is irony. It's like those that get the most and have the most and look the best, on all, on paper and everywhere else. Those are the ones that have don't know the plot, and then the ones that get shit on. It's like look at homeless people, right? Like what are they doing, whether or not they even know it? They're not trading their authenticity for any of the trappings here. And maybe they don't even know that. Maybe they just something in them won't let them become one with the system. But they got a
No,
better
man,
shot at
I
eternity
think that's
than
almost more freedom. When I was on the road and travel in the US, still in the system, still dealing with shit, but I mean, in terms of any freedom that can be reached here, I would say that's just about as close as you're gonna get, is living out wherever you want, however that looks, basically being homeless. And yeah, that would that would be to me about the closest thing to freedom in this place that you could get.
yeah. I mean, if it gets another cycle, I imagine it might do some utopian thing where there's food everywhere again, and very minimal slavery. But there's always got to be some kind of antagonist. So if the entire reality isn't the antagonist, it'll have to produce something. But as far as this goes, I mean, pretty much everything is the antagonist. Everything is the stress factor, you know, shelter, food, others in the environment. It's all designed to be stressful. And yeah, I think it pushed too hard, and it would make sense to me that it would not push as hard next time. But I think it has to have everyone in a certain state of compliance already before it can effectively. Because I think there is something to that whole, like, you know, if there was no stressors like that, then I think we'd have too much time to figure out that we're not the body. But once you've got a being so integrated with an artificial system, um, that you can diminish their awareness to a point that it wouldn't matter how much time they had, they wouldn't be able to figure it out anyway. That's when utopia would work. I didn't explain that the best, but I did my best.
No, yeah, we were talking a little bit about that too in that call, that it would make sense that the next stage would be one that isn't quite as because I think from the patterns I'm noticing from a lot of the genuine individuals here was that their life script was full of abuse and just not good shit, dude. And I think they pushed too hard and they realized they did, and that pushed people into waking up. And so they'll try the inverse of that, which is the complete opposite. That to me makes sense. That's why I mentioned in the WhatsApp group that show Pantheon. I just watched that and it fucking blew my mind. I was like, holy shit. Um, it's the whole, problem, reaction, solution. Create a problem so bad and then become the solution that everybody is looking for. Make life here so absolutely horrific that there is only one solution, which would be heavier integration with the parasitic intelligence. That to me would make sense for if they do get another cycle out of this place, um, that they would go the total opposite direction.
I mean, my only real concern, if we're going to go deep on it, is like, let's say this place is only like one battery in a chain of batteries for this larger machine of a reality. It's like when one battery fails, would they just cycle us to another battery, and that other battery would be where like the utopia was set up, or a completely different system that's foreign to this one, to the point that it would capture our attention in such a way for another epoch or so. um, I don't know. I think again, it all comes down to maintaining coherence through transition. As long as you're coherent through the transition, you're gonna be able to see that even something that looks like a heaven, if it's part of an entropic system, that recognition would be there. Just that feeling that something's not right. I think that would be enough to see through whatever. Yeah, whatever. I think some of us are prepared for whatever may come. Like when we're not integrated with a system the way that we are now in these bodies, in that transitional state, I don't think we'll be able to be put back into another system. And if we are, I think that one would just disintegrate faster than this one. Like we're gaining awareness more and more. It's like you said earlier, everything they try to do just gives us more awareness at this point. Even if it knocks us back a little bit, it's like we bounce forward way more. It's like, oh, okay, I see the upgraded version of that trick now. I see how you've adjusted that manipulation. With the mimics and stuff, I feel like the mimics have gotten so much better. Like, just since I even started doing shows, I feel like the mimics have gotten better. I feel like that the system is learning from us constantly, but it's like I think our awareness can expand at a much more accelerated rate than what this system can keep up with. And it's a choice whether or not to be aware of what it's doing, not to allow the comfort to be the dictator of whether or not we maintain our own awareness in the system and through the transition. I don't expect comfort. I don't expect any alleviation of misery of this hell realm of being in a false world until I'm completely not. Like, if I get shown the complete inverse of this when I leave this body, I'm going to be highly suspect. You know? I'll pick it apart piece by piece.
Well, I think it's that immediacy. If that's the first thing you're seeing, I think that's it right there. Like, you know what I mean?
Suspect.
Like,
Suspect.
yeah, exactly.
Like, if you pop out of this body and you're immediately in like a heaven realm, oh boy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit, dog.
I
I got some more work to do, I guess. Damn.
mean, I would just say, like, I would keep my eyes peeled. Like, where's it going to try to hook me back in at? What entity is interacting with me directly in that space? You know? And if it's an eternal being, you can't destroy it. That's the good news. You can't destroy another eternal being. But if it's programmed intelligence, it's a parasitic operative. All you gotta do is pull the energy out of it and they disintegrate. You can't do that with an eternal being because we're an endless well, whereas they are very finite, limited. And when you take their batteries out, they don't just go to sleep. They literally turn to dust, like nanodust. That's the best way I can describe it. Like sand. Black sand is what I've seen them turn into. Potential. Unorganized, unintelligent potential is the best way I can describe when those entities die. They just turn into the building blocks. But yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. I'm glad you did one tonight. It's glad to go off there for a little bit and shit talk.
I think it's necessary. You know, I think it's honestly like when this place pushes the way that it has the last couple of days, I'm like, I can't let that just stand. I mean, we gotta get on here and start talking about how pathetic the old Yaldy Baldy is.
Yaldy baldy.
Oh, poor Baldy. What
Oh.
was it? The other night was hilarious. It was like we're talking shit about them, and you brought up like they're probably only hearing the positive parts. Like I sarcastically said they're doing a good job. I'm like, yeah, they're doing such a good job, and they're like, yeah, they probably think you meant that. And I'm like,
Literally, they can't parse sarcasm. All they heard was good job. Yes, they think we're doing a good job.
yeah,
Oh shit. This place is designed to keep you in a constant state of stress. Adrenal fatigue is the avatar start. Absolutely. Yes. The adrenal fatigue. I've been trying to work on that, get my nervous system to not be hijacked so much. That's what they're going for. They're always poking and prodding shit out of you. And for me, it's definitely like they'll back off for maybe a little while, and then they'll do a few day insertion of just thing after thing after thing till I'm absolutely tired. But it's like Nick said, you get to a point where you get to a point where it gives you more awareness. Like you might be exhausted for a little bit, and then you come back around and you're like, okay, now I see that. It's like everything that you adapt to gives them less and less script because at the end of the day, they're not creators. They don't have creativity. They're just recycling the same things. And eventually it gets to the point where they've used everything and nothing works. And they're getting dangerously close in my scenario to absolutely running out. So now they just have to like compound a bunch of shit over a couple days time to get me exhausted. But you know, they know how that works out. So
yeah.
good
Eventually, they
job.
just start
Beautiful
talking shit.
place. They think it's a
Yeah, they're
beautiful
doing a good
place.
job. They do. They're like, wow, look when we put these colors together. Let's spray more chemtrails, guys. We'll make better rainbows. Rainbows with no rain. You're gonna get lost in all the beauty.
Man, it fucked me up when, there was all those auroras and shit. And I was like, I couldn't even bring myself. I think I was actually at work that day. I couldn't bring myself to even go outside. Everybody was like outside taking pictures. I'm like, damn, dog, this shit's fake as fuck. And everybody's like, it's so beautiful. I'm like, it's so fake. Like, it's more fake than ever. Oh, man.
This place is like if a dog sees in black and white and they see like a really nice shade of gray and the dog's trying to express to you like, wow, isn't this the best shade of gray to a person? And they're like, dude, it's just gray. It's like that's how this place looks to us. Like you can combine all the
Right.
colors you want, it's still a pile of shit.
Oh, yeah. It's fun to mock them, though. Uh, Definitely.
Yeah, and they can't even figure out that we're mocking them. That's
That's
another thing.
that's
They can't even
hilarious.
register. Like how can they mock us, but then not be able to register when we're mocking them? Like man, like I could try to be that dumb and I wouldn't be able to do it. Can you imagine thinking that you were gonna trap eternal beings in a limited script for like ever? It's like by definition dumb. So I'm gonna make a boat out of a solid rock and be surprised when it sinks. Wow, you're really fucking dumb, aren't you?
Right. This is and coming from beings that can't even understand humor. It's like,
But I put a sail on it. I don't understand. It's a rock. Yeah, but I put oars in a sail. I don't understand. I guess you wouldn't because you're no smarter than that rock that you're trying to use as a boat. Stupid parasites. I can't trap eternal beings in an artificial script forever. What? What? Really? Well, yeah. They have infinite more capacity than we do for like anything and everything that we can't even imagine beyond, and yet like you're telling me we can't trap them? What? 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 Wow, yeah, you're a fucking genius, aren't you? Oh, well, we created this elaborate reality to deceive them. It's supposed to work forever. We even wiped their memory. Now that part, that is kind of genius, but here it is still not working. So who's the real idiot?
right. And again, all they heard was elaborate reality. They're like,
Oh,
yes.
he thinks it's elaborate. Wow. That's right. You're doing such a good job, you pathetic worms. All they heard was good job.
This place. Holy
Like,
shit.
are they actually that stupid? I wonder. Oh yeah, let's test it. You guys really got me tricked. I think this is all real. It's totally real and straight. Not the opposite. It's all real and straight. Not.
You know what's so funny? You know how we were talking about recycled jokes? Either people are really waking up to that it's fake and gay, or they're recycling our jokes in bots because I was looking through shit today, like on social media, just checking out the fucking weather. And the amount, I should have screenshotted it. I might go back and do that for you later. The amount of people I saw using that actual verbiage of it's all fake and gay, it was like at least 4 people. I was like, we've been saying that in the group constantly. And now I'm seeing an excess of people like, yeah, it's all fake and gay. It's all fake and gay. Like,
I mean,
okay,
they definitely recycle everything. I see it all the time. I mean, they're constantly reading from us, right? Like, and this is gonna sound minuscule, but when you apply this to like everything, it's everywhere. But like, I literally was eating a French fry, and I was thinking, man, I wish I had some ketchup. I literally saw an ad on TikTok for Heinz ketchup, and I was like, "Shut the fuck up, dude! Like, I don't want that. That's fucking garbage."
Dude, that shit is the craziest when I think something and it shows up on my phone. I'm like, God damn. Okay, guys. All right. All right. All right. Yeah, I watched that show. I actually binge watched that show Pantheon, and it's regarding uploaded intelligence. And what was funny is that my whole feed was covered in it's all absurdity, but all kinds of shit about AI. And you know, I was like, that's really weird because I didn't even have my phone out in the living room with me when I was watching that. But then the next day, it was like absolutely covered in shit about AI. And I just don't really give a shit. So I don't read that kind of stuff. But I found it interesting that after watching that show, that's all that showed up on my feed. It's like, yeah, okay, okay, all right.
Yeah, my feed fluctuates back and forth between like the most mind-numbing, tedious, stupid bullshit that I don't care about or interact with, to like conspiracy theorists. Like I'm not saying like all conspiracies are bullshit, this and that. Like maybe there's truth in some of them, but at the end of the day, we can't really validate 99% of it. So if I can't validate it through direct experience, like I just got to pay attention to what's the underlying narrative, right? Like the world is run by, reptiles that do that. I'm like, maybe it is, but at the end of the day, like, what are those reptiles a mask for? Like what's the underlying energetic narrative there? It's to make us feel hopeless and helpless. Oh, wow. Shocker. Same thing that every other fucking thing here is for, you know? And it's just the same recycled narratives over and over. The Galactic Federation, it's just Jesus or whatever savior. It's all the same fucking script over and over, which is a different mask. So stupid. Wait, but I'm sorry. You're doing such a good job with all these repetitive, contradictory and predictable scripts. You're doing such a good job. Keep it up. Keep it up, guys. You're doing great. Totally not seeing through all of it.
But what about the Leviathan, though?
Oh yeah, that's the one. There you go.
That's the real one, man. I've been seeing
That's
all
the
kinds of
real
shit.
one.
The Leviathan, they're trying to distract you because the Leviathan is waking up. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
man, if
that's what
they're
they're
trying to
distracting you
distract
from.
you, I'm pretty sure it's way deeper than that. But sure, yeah, the Leviathan's gonna wake up. Like, bitch, I hope he comes and burns me to a crisp first, because I'm ready to get out of here. I'm totally fine with that. But I think it's
Yeah.
funny. That's the newest thing. People screenshotting like Google Maps and tracing this outline in the ocean. That's they're all convinced it's the Leviathan that's waking up.
I mean, the only way they destroy this part of the farm is if they have another part of the farm ready to send eternal essence to. It's the only way they do that. They don't destroy it with no backup. So if they do destroy it, just know that it's because they have a fucking backup. You know, that's
Yep, locked and
that's
loaded.
right. Exactly. They're not going to destroy it with no backup. If anything, they would build the backup so they could destroy it, so they could harvest more energy from the terror of the destruction, and then, you know, people would wake up in that, you know, next level fake place, and it would probably be like a utopia, so that everybody'd have their guard down. It's like, oh look, you've entered the gates of heaven. I just need you to sign right here on this contract saying that we reserve all the rights and privileges to your soul energy, and then you can go and play and have fun. Okay, fucking scam artists. This is a well thought out scam. There's no doubt about it. I mean, but at the same time, like, it's hard to find an analogy for it. As well thought out as, a story is, you can get super engrossed in a story and be like, that's my favorite movie. That's my favorite book. That's my favorite TV show. But you can always zoom out and see that it's fake. Like, this isn't real. I may have gotten emotionally invested, and I really cared about the outcome. But at the end of the day, like it was never real. And when you zoom out, you remember that. I feel like that's how this place is. It's just it doesn't allow for that zooming out effect to actually back up far enough to see, like, oh yeah, by the way, it's all fake. It's all made up. Discog said more rainbows. Yeah, the rainbows definitely make up for all the torture and sacrifice that goes on here, for sure. Really evens the scales right there. The scales of balance and justice. Beautiful place.
Yeah.
For every child screaming, we're blessed with another rainbow. So doesn't that seem fair? Seems fair. Seems pretty righteous. Good to have you, the Discog. If you want to come on, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Yeah, I enjoy talking with Discog for sure. I shared the
I
I
said,
shared the link in the I think I shared the link in the Telegram.
God damn. I sound like a fucking 80-year-old man coughing up. Still not gonna quit vaping, but
I wouldn't.
I'm not gonna.
Shit, actually, that's not true. I quit vaping. I quit vaping so I could start smoking cigarettes again.
See, that was the opposite for me. I used to smoke. God damn, I used to smoke so many cigarettes when I would work 16-hour shifts. Sometimes I would go through like a pack and a half. And I quit smoking cigarettes to go to the vape, and it's probably worse, but I don't care. I mean, shit, the damage has been done. I'm not trying to maintain my avatar for perfect. You know what I mean? I'm not really that concerned about it. I mean, I'm not going out and like eating shit all the time, but like this is a one thing. No, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep doing this till I leave this place. So
Fuck it. Welcome back.
What's up? I'm here. Okay, I just had a good, yeah, this was a good meeting I had. I'm back. I could not get off that conversation. Y'all saw me linger. It was fascinating. It was like resonating. I couldn't get off for a while. And finally, I'm like, I better jump off, see if they're still on after. Here we are.
Here we are. I think we're winding down, but if you have anything you want to chat about, now's the
Hmm.
time.
Hmm. You know, those difficult choices where to choose authenticity with the great cost that it has. Okay, here, go ahead. Just a moment. Right here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, I just gotta mute for a moment.
The infinite moth spawn. There's another moth in here.
stop it. Where are they
I
coming
don't,
from, dude?
I don't know, but I know where
That's
they
where,
I know where they go. I know where they go. They go to
where do they
dust.
go?
They,
They go into the light. They go into the fire.
no, no. I mean, they do fly towards the light on the ceiling, but then I turn them into dust.
Yeah,
I'm like,
choosing
if there's a soul trapped in that moth, man, I'm just setting them free. At least two spawn in this room every night. I'm like, how?
and they get
It's
into your clothes.
it's 2 degrees outside.
So they like eat your clothes.
I guess
Come
I
on,
don't know what they're eating. I haven't
shucks.
found their nest.
There's some beautiful ones that are more beautiful than butterflies. Big ones. There's huge ones.
Nope, these are small ones. They look exactly the same every time. They look like the exact same moth every time. And they usually wait for me to go to sleep, and they start landing in my ears, making me think they're trying to burrow into my brain.
Whoa.
It's your special monitoring moth, Nick.
It definitely is. Which is why
Bowling.
I have no remorse when I use the handy dandy bug assault assault shotgun on them.
And what does the moth represent? Because all these animal totems, I'm sure the moth is something interesting.
I think
Death.
I know that they represent in Pokemon. They have a powder they can use to put you to sleep.
Mm.
So
Oh
Mhm.
shit.
I think that's what they represent for me. They're trying to put me to sleep.
When I burn a candle, they love to get right in that flame and die. And they're in the wax. I mean,
Mm.
alive. Mhm.
No, we're not on TikTok. We can say die. We can say fucking shit and
I'm here. Hmm.
heavy metal death.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love the lack of censorship, or at least a little bit.
Yeah.
I always catch myself saying should I shouldn't when you do the TikTok lives. God damn.
Yeah. I'm tired of TikTok anyway. It pisses me off.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like when I want to talk to a bot, I'll go on TikTok. When I'm like ready to, all right, let me go ahead and face the embodiment of the Matrix right now. I'll get on TikTok and start a live.
Hmm.
Dude, it gets real out there on some of those lives. I mean, I've gotten fucking physically sick before uh,
Hmm.
from some of it. It's rough.
Hmm.
The insertions are real for sure.
Hmm.
The
What?
energetic implanting. That's where I go when I gotta, work out those muscles.
Hmm. Hmm. You can see it, feel it trying to implant through like the algorithm. Sometimes I'm like, whoa, it's on one right now. It's trying to get me into some weird things. I see. Whoa, I see you. Oh, I'm supposed to say yes to this. I'm supposed to hook on right here. Like, whoa, some strange things y'all want me to think. It wants me to think. I can see it's trying to lead me down some trails, but
Yeah,
I can feel it trying to attach.
yeah. And the direct interaction on the lives is another level of that. It's like a much
Mhm.
more advanced level of that.
Oh, by the way, y'all, I wanted to add to when you guys were talking about all these modern day prophets who like channel and stuff, or kind of some of these gurus, and you know, none of them make sense. It's all gibberish. Like, listen to, like, my ex husband used to be into what's his face, that guy, Paul Selig. The guy, like, listen to this man for 5 minutes. He was so into it, and it's like word salad that don't even taste good. It's just word vomit and every kind of combination scramble. And then it's like, okay, this is supposed to be holy. And then, like, I've heard many others, like Bashar or something, but there seems to be some wisdom coming through, or Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, right? Or no, Abraham. Yeah, Esther Hicks. Abraham, she calls herself. And then many others, but it's really all gibberish. And I'm really hearing it for what it is. And so glad I'm not listening to that no more. Hmm. Hmm.
Ah, yes, the silence.
Testing.
No, I
I
mean
mean,
I had to do some stuff anyway.
what'd you say?
Sorry, what?
But you know how it goes. It's like when you get three or more people on one of these shows, one of us is always gonna get some. We'll just trade off the interference.
Oh my
All right,
gosh.
I'm being interfered with, and you can be interfered with, and then
Mhm.
who's being interfered with third?
Mhm. Did you guys hear the things that were on those channels that they kept, like all that interference we had, where it was they were saying things like matter of fact, up front, all kinds of strange things. Did you hear all those channels? It was interesting what they were saying alongside with us.
No, I don't know what that means. I
Oh,
honestly
you
don't know
know
what you're
that?
referring to.
There was a bunch of like talking, like it was as somebody was flipping channels, through I mean, I heard probably, I think, some sports, news, or just like different kinds of channels. So many, and they were saying up front, matter of fact, like, seemed like some kind of reporting, and it was just flipping. But there'd be these chunks, these clips of what they were saying right alongside us. You didn't hear that? I thought y'all were hearing it and ignoring it. That was just me?
When was James
No, I
on?
think that was James's TV. I think.
Okay. Okay, because I was like, whoa. What's it trying to say?
Messages. If you watch the programming is very, it's gotten so much more blunt and direct now that they're
Yes,
not even like hiding what they're saying. Like,
been in plain sight.
it's right there. Because I think it's partially like testing to see like how many are they going to be able to take the full length of the harvest.
Mhm.
Fuck.
Mhm. Mm.
Welcome. I just noticed you were up.
Hey there.
Greetings and salutations. How are you?
Oh my gosh, so much interference.
Okay, I'm gonna make myself mute myself. Might help.
I
Ooh.
swear, when Discog and I try to talk, that happens every time. She pops in, and it must be like they don't want me to hear her, or her to hear me, but like,
It does.
yeah. You're a
Oh,
real one though. I like talking to you, Discog.
oh, likewise. Likewise. Oh my goodness. I'm feeling all verklempt, but spicy. Spicy. Oh, yeah.
Bring the heat. Bring the spice. It's cold as fuck out here. I'm ready for the heat.
Oh my gosh. Even the other day when I was trying to call, and thank you for having this space, and I made it through the flaming hoops, jumping through the flaming hoops of trying to get here, and I'm here and really proud of myself for persevering and making it through that. But fuck, man, yeah, I feel spicy. Even the other day when I was like trying to call the doctor's office, it was a freaking comedy of errors. There was interference with the phone call, and then they asked me all these stupid meaningless questions, and then they like disconnected the call, like, and this shit happens all the time. No wonder I've got fucking phone call PTSD, which sounds ridiculous, but it's like I know what's gonna happen. I know exactly what's gonna happen with this shit. So why, Okay, yeah, a little bit spicy. Yeah, thank you for having this.
Yeah, I get like 10 spam calls a day now. And I answer the phone and I'm like, I just make noises. I'll leave it at that.
You
Oh,
make noises. That's
I
pretty
make
great.
I make noises. Sometimes I pretend to be an old person. Sometimes I pretend to be a young person.
put the toddler on the phone, the inner toddler.
I pretend to be anything but coherent. I got one the other day. I just kept saying, "What?" And they kept trying to talk to me. And they'd finish the sentence, and I go, "What?" And they I went on for like 5 minutes. They finally hung up.
Oh,
That's awesome.
What?
awesome.
Just one word. What?
Oh,
Also interchangeable with huh? Huh? What? What?
man. Yep, the maniacal laughter part is my favorite phase. It takes a while to get to that, but once it's there, everything's okay. You know?
That's a very specific stage for sure.
It is,
Yeah.
huh?
For me, it's like this inner, like, yeah, I know I'm gonna watch you disintegrate someday soon. I'm gonna watch you crumble into nothing where you came from.
Right, and not just watch it, but instigate it.
In
I
any way
like
I
that.
can.
I like your fire or that yeah, I like that fire. I'm gonna borrow some of that because it is definitely exhausting in every on every layer. It's exhausting. Or it can be.
Earlier, Christine, you said it doesn't even understand laughter. Like it doesn't register what it really is. So it doesn't know that I'm laughing at it.
No, it's just annoying noise to it, which is so hilarious. That's my favorite part. For real. And sometimes, like when I fight back, I'll literally say that out loud. I'll be like, you know, there's going to be one day where I'm still existing and I'm laughing and laughing and laughing, and you're going to be gone. You know that, right?
You know, the sweetest part would be if in its last moment of existence, it understood all at once all of the laughter that ever been directed at it. Just in that last moment, it got to exist. That's my wish for it. It finally understands that we weren't laughing with it.
Blue Clarity said, I scare myself with the maniacal laughter. Um, for sure, I've been there. I've been sitting alone in my room where, like, I'm oscillating between anger, crying, and then maniacal laughter. It's all part of the process. It's very Natchies and a shitty fucking containment system. But if somebody were like to come up and see that, they'd be like, "Damn, this bitch needs help." But I get you. I get you.
Maybe that's the key. Maybe the laughter is the key to through because it really pisses them off. I'm all whispering like they can't hear me. It really it have you noticed like it infuriates the
Oh, it makes them mad.
it does, doesn't it?
But I think it's because we're not taking them seriously, right? Like once you start to like shed the fact that any of this is of importance, that's when the laughter comes in when you're like, dude, no, none of this matters to my eternal essence. It makes everything that they do funnier. And
Right.
yeah, they don't like that. I think they've been used to being worshipped for a long time, so being laughed at is probably not something they're entirely used to.
Right? You're supposed to be scared. Be scared.
You know, the part that perplexes me a little bit is if they don't understand laughter, like why is comedy one of the main staples of entertainment? That's my question.
Dude, that's all stolen from us. I have a feeling humor started with us, but now comedy is used as just a way to distract you. But like when you're directing the humor at it and them and the whole construct, that's a fucking weapon, bro. They hate it.
We're we're gonna have to start doing a comedy hour once a week where we just get on and make fun of it and all of its narratives. What are they trying to do today, guys? What they try to do this week to corral consciousness and
Yeah,
shift
because
awareness back into a finite?
there is nothing better than laughing with a fellow real one about what's going, to really laugh like from the soul together, having that knowing and understanding of what it is, like nothing better. And it like restores the soul. It like refreshes it, almost like crying can too.
Man, that would almost explain the comedy then why the system would push comedy because then it's like how are they going to recharge their batteries?
Hmm.
It does. And you know what? Okay, here's a little fun fact, little curious piece of information, which is when this one experienced the cult indoctrination. One of the prohibitive measures was against loud laughter, which I find very interesting now. I'm like, that makes me want to throw my head back. Really, why are they trying to prohibit loud laughter specifically?
Have you
It
heard of
triggers
like the
it triggers their lord.
charismatic charismaniacs? The whole sect of like holy laughers,
Say it
Christian
again.
holy rap.
I missed what you said. Could you say it again? I'm gonna mute.
Have you heard about the Christian holy rollers or like holy? They like would like, get together and everybody's laughing. Like it's pretty maniacal looking. You know, it's like been recorded. Like at church, they all start laughing. One person starts laughing, and then it's like supposedly you're like filled with the Holy Spirit, and you're laughing like a hyena, like everybody together for hours. It was a movement.
Oh, dude, I've never seen that, but so when I was in foster care, I got pushed to go to this Christian university. And it was Indiana Wesleyan, and we had to go to chapel 3 times a week. And dude, we would go into this auditorium and people would be doing the craziest shit, like not only speaking in tongues, but like there were people that would run, fucking sprint, lap around this auditorium, and they would call because I had to ask this chick. I always sat in the back with this one chick with a nose ring, and she was like so uninterested. And we never talked to each other, but we just had this like there was like an energetic understanding that like this is all bullshit. And one time I turned to her and I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck are they doing?" And she was like, "It's called running in the spirit." I was like, "What? Running in the spirit? The fuck are you talking about?" But these people, they would like be running for their lives. Like someone was chasing them with a knife. They'd be just running, running, running while they were doing worship songs. That shit was crazy.
Wow. Hmm. It kind of looks
If
like
it
possession.
I mean, you're not going to find me running laps for anything, not even probably to save my own life. So something like that. Speaking in tongues, I had a lot of that. My ex-husband, his family went to like the Pentecostal church, so that's like the wearing skirts and you weren't bathed in the spirit unless you spoke in tongues, and that was some of the most like I could say possession, but I don't even know what it was. But there was an old lady who like she was like ah blah, 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 but like it sounded so fake. Like
Mhm.
it was like the fakest shit I'd ever heard. Like she was just putting on a show, but she would do it every Sunday. Every Sunday, she'd just be like going nuts and swinging herself around and doing her speaking in tongues. I guess it's some weird shit. And I find when it comes to the humor, when Nick and some of the people in the WhatsApp group blasphemy to religious deities is probably one of my favorite forms of humor in this place. It's also
Oh,
absurd.
on WhatsApp now. Cool. I gotta get on with you guys on WhatsApp. Cool. Hmm.
my favorite's the edge lord references.
Edge
He's
Lord.
coming. He's coming.
He's almost there, guys. Get on
Uh
your knees and
huh.
say his name.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Get on your knees
Yeah.
Lord,
and
be
say
on
his
your knees.
name. Get on your knees.
Shower me with your love. Enter me,
Lord, be
shower me with your love. Penetrate my heart. Oh God. Yeah.
golden shower me with your love, Lord.
Mhm. Mm. Mm.
Is that is that is that the Lord's golden light or is that piss?
Oh God, not the fruity pebbles.
I will say though, I am slightly better off having been embodied in this time frame because, they used to stone people for that shit back in the day, bro. Like, you're blaspheming our God. Let's stone
Oh,
you to death.
we're circling back around too. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's
It's
the
getting
recurrence
real.
is fast approaching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, it's getting real. These Christian communities, like, did you see which I know it's all fake theater, but I found it interesting when the Christians were like rioting the monks and that they were basically, that was a form of blasphemy. It's like,
Mm.
oh, jeez. Jesus, come save them. Do the fake rapture, get rid of all you know, the NPCs and let us suffer here in silence, I guess.
You know, it would make sense that that would be what it does, though. That it would pull all the NPCs out during a fake rapture, and then try to convince the real ones through the narrative that they'd been left behind, and then put put a bunch of foul, decrepit beasts here to purge us one by one into the next system. That's how I would do it. If I was it.
Yeah, I have a feeling if there is a rapture event, it's only, I mean, everything here I think is to steer the real ones, the eternal pre-containment beings. So if there's a rapture, it's definitely not going to be, it ain't going to be us. Let's just say that it's not going to be us.
It'd be the alien rapture.
Oh, now see, that's a thing there. If the aliens come down, I'll willingly go into their grand spaceship.
That's what they want. They definitely want that. They want to harvest the biological material and create a better clone
Have
with
you
more
been into
habitations.
you guys heard the work of Santos Bonacci, like with syncretism and what he teaches about all religions being the same, like a lot of history and occult things and astrology. It makes a lot of sense. I used to listen to him and he really sounded wild for a while. Was off YouTube and he's back, but he's quite a teacher. Have you heard of Santos Bonacci?
I've heard of them,
Vegan.
yeah.
What's your experience or what's your knowing or experience, or if you care to share, unless you guys want to hop off or whatever. Listen.
I mean, I haven't heard him say too much about what we talk about, really. Like, a lot of what he talks about, I feel like it's still
Well, the
construct
chrism,
based.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
Con-
like most of anybody famous is like, what are they talking about?
Is he famous?
He's pretty famous, yeah.
I mean, he went to like prison for what he believes of, like for like the whole common law thing and like admiralty law. Um, I don't know. It seemed, yeah, but it's
Oh, he's a good cop.
really
He-
because
yeah,
he's
I
a
think so.
targeted individual. He talks about but he's all into flat Earth too, and just I mean, it makes you think about how sun worship and the origins of all these religions being the exact same thing. He just shows it, and then how it all fits with the astrology. It's all the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's definitely truth there, but does he go deeper into it? Like, if it's all the same thing, then what's perpetuating it?
Have you
What is the same thing benefiting?
like he has like 7-hour videos. I mean, he's been doing this for years. It seems like he's really passionate about it, and he does have a lot of knowledge. I mean, he goes hard on people that eat meat. He just calls them flesh eaters. He calls them all kinds of names. He gets crazy about it, but he's in Mexico with this healing center, like this Tesla machine, all these things, like what our health really is. And um, I mean, I don't know, seems like some good things, but maybe just another cult leader, really.
We
Um,
gotta look at the trends. It's all about this world. It's all about what's here. The laws, the diet, it's all relative to here, and none of this pertains to us. This is all a script. So I don't really care about the script. I know that it's
mhm,
scripted. I know that it's fake. So, like, once you know that it's fake, why do you still want to play in a fake world that's based on predation and
mhm,
rewarding evil?
mhm.
I don't want any rewards to this place because I'd have to give myself away to get them.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. That's what I wanted to talk about is there's a price for our authenticity and to be in our own
Yeah,
power. It's a big price. Feel it every day.
yeah. It's like I don't really care about the diet stuff. I'm not. It's like I'm not trying to extend my stay in prison. I don't give a shit about the health of this body. It doesn't matter to me. It's not me.
I saw one of your videos where you like dumpster dived all this beautiful fruit, washed it for like 45 minutes at a park, and then some animals came by, you gave them some, and you're like, might have to just jump out and do some Uber Eats and make that money.
Yeah, that's when I was living in my car in Florida. It was pretty nice.
Looked like
It was
you
the
were
closest
vegan
thing to
there.
freedom.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if I should go vegan. I don't know, but I don't think so. But maybe, I don't know.
I don't think it matters.
Been well, I mean, for like holy purity, like purity of consciousness. I mean, I'm messy enough. This world is messy enough. Some clarity would do me good. Purity,
Well, I mean, I'm just
cleanliness,
saying, like ultimately, it doesn't matter. You're gonna leave the body anyway. So no matter what you put in it, it's gonna end. So
hmm
like, it's just yeah, it's like it doesn't feel good to
hmm
consume things, but like at the same time, it's not any precedence to whether or not you're gonna maintain your freedom. There's most of the people that are vegans in this world are gonna be reintegrated back into the system anyway, you know. And there's some that aren't that won't, you know. But most people in general, on whatever side of the fence they're on any of these topics, they're all still engulfed in these topics about this world.
So, do you each
I do.
individually have? Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I do see a lot of guilting, though, in some of these communities for people to go vegan or stop eating meat. And my one issue with that is going back to what I said earlier. A lot of people don't get to choose their script. Some people are homeless. Some very real people are homeless. And the only thing that bothers me about that is people pushing it and saying, like, your uh, kind of like what you said with the you need to purify your consciousness, but like some people don't get to choose. It doesn't make them any less eligible for freedom. I mean, I would say, like, for me, it's been a natural process. Like, I have a natural aversion now to eating meat, but I didn't guilt myself or say, like, oh, I need to do this to purify myself. I think that's part of the construct. I think that's part of the programming, is to think that anything external that you're going to do is going to purify yourself. But like, if it works for you, it works for you. But like, the guilting I see about that in the spiritual community, it really pisses me off. Because again, it's just like the manifesting your own reality. Some people are gonna, if they're homeless, they're gonna eat the fucking food that's put out in front of them. They're not gonna care whether there's meat in it or not. If they don't have money to go buy fresh fruit and vegetables, or if they don't have the means to do so, they're gonna eat what's offered to them or what they can get. And so that's the only part of that that I don't like, is the heavy
Mhm.
shame and guilt on it, because you're just perpetuating the system, because you're not having that wider perspective of, like, not everybody has the option, the literal option, to go get, food that would support a vegan lifestyle enough for them to maintain their function. If you have the money and the means to do that, great, do it. But like, there should be no guilt or shame in it. That's my only comment. I don't think anything external really matters to your soul. But again, for me, naturally, I have an aversion to it. uh, I didn't used to. It happened on its own, and I let it happen naturally. But like, I didn't push myself or shame myself into anything. That part really pisses me off.
If you're gonna shame something, shame the system that makes a fucking
Yeah.
cheeseburger more accessible than an apple.
Yeah. Instead, he says,
That's
if you
it.
eat, you are a pig bum because you are what you eat, and you can't inherit the kingdom of God. He says you can't inherit the kingdom. You do.
Right?
Period.
I mean, it's some religious shit. It's religious. It's just another religion.
Exactly. That's right. I hear it now. I hear it now. Yeah. hmm
Right, and it's kind of ritualistic when it's being pushed. Again, if it happens naturally and you have the means to not eat meat, great. But to push it on somebody and make them feel guilt or shame, you're literally propagating the very system that you're saying that you're opposing, because you're not seeing that not everybody has the option to live that lifestyle. And yeah, that's what irritates it about me is it's like a ritualistic thing, just like the meditation. I meditate, but I do it on my own time and I do it when I feel it's right for me. I'm not going to like force myself to do it if I don't feel it that day. There's all these like spiritualistic rituals that they say that you have to maintain to get out of here, but really the only thing you have to maintain to get out of here is authenticity and clarity in what this place is. Nothing external is going to get you there or prevent you from being there unless you let it.
Yeah.
And don't whip
Yeah.
the slave. Don't whip the subjugated. Whip the master, right? The puppeteer, the archon behind it, the one really, enslaving us, doing it to us, through
Right. They
us.
and you'll notice a lot of people are rewarded, right? When they guilt others, it's like because that's
Hmm.
feeding the archons, it's feeding the parasite.
And shame is another biggie. Lowest vibration is shame.
Right? Because what kind of a system is this that requires us to consume another being in order to sustain our own life? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I
Never
mean,
thought it until I heard it on these conversations.
it's like even plants feel pain, and people that don't know that will think that sounds absurd, but it's fucking true. And it's because it's a system of fucking harvest. It's meant to feel pain. Everything here is designed to fucking suffer because it benefits something that's feeding off of suffering.
Mhm.
It's evil. The whole thing's evil.
Mhm.
There's no part of it that I feel like I need to do better, or you know what I mean? It's all a fucking scam. It's a joke.
But there's that heavy control that automatically guilts us, and the shame, like you said. Olena, is it
Yeah.
Olena?
Mhm.
Hi.
Oh, then. Hi.
Hi. um,
You sound like your sister. We sound alike. Mm.
that whole guilt and shame of, man, in order for me to be here, something
Mhm.
else has to suffer, which is
Mhm.
a painful thing, for
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah. So then we gotta perform to be worthy or to be good enough. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
not saying
Subject.
that I agree with it. I'm saying that that is a paradigm that is set up for us, like we're gonna feel bad no matter what, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Being
Evil
And
as
it's our
fuck.
fault.
being.
It's our fault no matter what, because everything is inverted and flipped around.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
We're being
didn't make it,
pressed
but it's your
down.
fault.
Mhm.
How
Crazy,
heinously
crazy.
evil is that?
It is. It is. It is. Yeah.
We are the grapes in our Father's vineyard being stomped on in his wine press. The grapes that shall be crushed, and made into this wine. And back in the day, they used to stomp on it with their feet. And,
The one is what, Loosh? Is the
and he
line?
is the vine, the branches, hmm they say, the scriptures. Hmm.
The script? The script says that?
Whoa.
The intentional
hmm
design of the parasite made in its image?
hmm
The pathetic worm that can't be called out for its own error? Can never be wrong because if it's wrong, then it fucking ceases to exist? Because it's that fallible and pathetic?
Yep.
I just have to say, I appreciate this conversation. I appreciate y'all and the uncomfortable clarity that comes with the conversation. So, thank you
Mhm.
and much love through the ether,
For
if
sure.
that's the thing.
Yes.
I'm all for uncomfortable truths because comfortability is not our friend here.
Okay, but that makes my inner child tantrum.
I know. We're not used to being uncomfortable because why would an eternal being have a predator?
Mhm. You gotta stay in the zoo. Lock up. Stay in the zoo. Stay comfortable. You got everything you need in there behind this lock and key. Hmm. Oh, you let yourself in. Formerly wild animal, domesticated now. Hmm. I, yeah. When we were talking about the other languages in churches with the Holy Spirit and the Pentecostal movement and everything with speaking in tongues, it's also in the Bible about don't just speak in tongues and have it be gibberish. What is it to anyone? It's a banging gong or something, because you got to have the interpreter of tongues. You're always supposed to have the one saying the stuff and the one interpreting it.
Right. But a major part of that, though, this is from biblical, and I wish I didn't know this, but the indoctrination was real when I was younger, by
Mm-hmm.
no choice of my own, unfortunately. But one of the purposes of that, though, was to spread the word of God to other tongues. That was supposed to be part of the point of it. So, like, doing it now, other than the Pentecostals are one of the only sects of religion where they think that that's a sign that you've been baptized in the Spirit if you speak in tongues, because that's what happened in the upper room with Jesus was
Mm-hmm.
that people started speaking in tongues. There's like no real sense to speaking in tongues at all in this day and age. Now, if you were in that script back in the day, even if it doesn't make sense to us, it made sense to them because they were spreading the word of God via speaking it in tongues, and it was supposed to be an interpretive layer for other people, but it doesn't. It just doesn't translate now. Even if you're in that script, it doesn't make sense to me.
It's also saying channel this entity and then channel the interpreter of that entity, which is another entity. So we got to be channeling both over here. Double, double.
And it's the same parasite.
Mhm.
Man, if that's what they sound like, they sound fucking stupid.
I mean, they can't understand laughter. You know, they don't even know they're being made fun of.
Means they
I think
take
if they,
themselves way
huh?
they take themselves way too serious. If you can't laugh at yourself, it's because you're way too serious about yourself. Being unable to laugh at yourself means taking yourself far too seriously, right? So they take themselves far too seriously, the entities that can't laugh.
I think they take their survival seriously.
Hmm. Hmm. As any being would. But fuck him. Fuck him. You do you, I do me. Hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think both can happen. I don't think it's a cohabitative thing.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
think we can be in the same realm as them and have a peaceful experience.
That's right. So somebody's going to eat the other or disintegrate the other or whatever has to be done. So prepare and know
Yeah,
yourself.
there you go. That's for me for sure. The stance I take is that prepare thy mind for what is to come. No avoiding it. There's
Prepare
just
your exit strategy.
yeah,
Hmm.
succumbing to it or not. That's all there is.
Hmm. Yep.
And the language is tricky. The language itself is tricky. And I want to tell you, Nick, that I have, and Christina too, I have blank art papers and one of them has on it, the intent is the effect. Will and intent. So that's something that I keep displayed so that I see it whenever I go past my easel here. Also, staying alive is the bravest thing you can do. And the latest one is I know enough. That's from our conversation, Christina. I know enough. Because when the temptation is to go down rabbit hole after rabbit hole and tape my ankles, I know enough. I know enough. So,
Yeah, that was a good conversation too. That was I think you get to that point, you kind of have to go down rabbit holes as part of this, and you kind of have to have that curiosity that gets you to the truth. But there gets a point where reading the stories and all that, it becomes the opposite of beneficial. Like you get it, enough. You don't need the stories anymore.
right, right. They can be useful. They can be useful and they can be helpful, especially when we're having conversations that may produce greater clarity. But but you're right. Perhaps we need not seek it time after time. So I appreciate that.
The effect is the intent, Nick. That was your slogan. I think that got me through some heavy shit last year. Good slogan.
Yeah, and I like the one um if you want to know what something is, watch what it does. I think that was right. I may have to go a couple pages back for that one, but if you want to know what something is, watch what it does. I think that was a good one too.
Yeah, it's a banger for sure. I mean, it
Yeah,
always reveals itself in all that it does. It can't help but show what it is through what it does.
exactly. That helps with interrelational human quote unquote interactions also.
For sure.
What
What
was
they
Because
do
what
is
was
what they
the
were meant to do.
there's
hey
a
guys?
lot of sorry, go ahead.
Maybe you go ahead if you need to finish up, maybe. Or okay. I was like gonna say a pyramid, for example, a triangle where there's the power at the top and then everybody else at the bottom. But once you get laughter going, it equalizes. The top has to kind of come down to join the laughter, right? You can't be stayed up on a pedestal or above others when you really laugh and surrender to that, right? Humor, just
I
the
like
thought.
that. Laughter is an equalizer, isn't it? That's a
Hmm.
good one.
I don't know
That's
how
why we
much
got to
truth
do it.
there is.
Well,
Go ahead.
you can try
I
it.
was gonna say,
Here's a comedy. Yeah, I'm in.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here. It was a really good talk. Nick, thanks for
Yeah,
letting me
good
go off
too.
at the beginning of this live. It was much needed. It's been a heavy time the last few days. So,
Hmm.
um, and Discog, I like that you came up. Elena, it was good to meet you. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, good talks, good authenticity, all the things. But yeah, I'm starting to feel a little shitty. I've been sick the last couple days on top of it all. So got the sore throat and the cough and sore and head hurts and all the fun shit of having a body here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop off and get some rest. But you guys have a good night. And
Good
yeah,
night.
Thank you, Christina. I appreciate you so much.
yeah. See you guys. See you next.
thank you, Christina.
Mm.
Something you said earlier made me think of something I saw. I don't know if it's true or not, but supposedly um, some officials got pretty mad at what was put out in the last few episodes of South Park, and
Hmm.
just makes you think about laughter being an equalizer. That
Hmm.
when things that are intended to be taken seriously are laughed at, they do seem to lose some of their effect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. High,
What?
how high up can you be if we all laughing? You just start tumbling. I see it. Tumble,
They
tumble.
they got mad at South Park? No.
What would be the format of a comedy show to do? What kind of format are
um,
you thinking?
just getting on and talking shit.
Like some people say, like George Carlin is a real truth teller, but then some people say he's laughing at us. I wonder. And Bill Hicks
I'm sure
and
some
these
little bit of
guys.
both to it. I just don't see
Yeah.
anyone. I don't see anybody slipping through the cracks with this type of system. Like if you have a lot of notoriety and etc., you're serving some kind of purpose, known or unknown to yourself.
Hmm. 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 It's the best when you make a friend laugh and you didn't even try, and they're laughing and they're just enjoying it and laughing like it's so funny, and you're like, I wasn't even trying. That feels so good. It's refreshing. It's fun. It's like it's a togetherness happens, a unity.
Sharing is caring.
And not sharing is caring just as much.
Yeah, there's nuances to everything for sure.
Hmm.
Depends on who you're interacting with,
Hmm.
what's piloting that avatar. It's very relevant. But does anybody have anything you want to talk about in particular? Because I'm getting tired. I've been on here about 3 hours. I think it's about time for
Okay.
me to wrap it up.
Yeah. Feel that.
Thank
Such a
you.
good conversation.
So good.
Love you, folks. Thank you.
Oh,
Much love.
thanks for coming on, Alina and Discog. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, towards the end of these shows, I usually go till I get real tired, and then I don't really have like a token wrap up. So I'll just say that you are the authority of your own eternity, and anything that tells you otherwise is a pathetic worm and deserves nothing but obliteration and oblivion.
That's right.
Maybe some maniacal laughter on the way out.
Oh yeah.
Definitely,
Mhm.
definitely expensive gratitude. I appreciate you.
Yep,
Good night.
you're welcome. I appreciate you all too. We'll chat soon.
Yep.
Sounds
Till
good.
next time.
Bye.
Take care.